back to the Unremarkables. Hello. This is our mess. The next generation game. It is so good to have you all here with me, you wonderful one beings. We will be down one dare, but we shall endeavor to soldier forward, not pry too much at their absence. Welcome if you are new. This is going to be a fun ride. If you're not, then I'm glad you could join us once again. As you may or may not know, here at Roll for Chaos, we can't just, intro people. I have to roll randomly and throw a inane question at them that I didn't in any way prepare them for. So, we're going to start off...
questions again today? Oh, God.
Yeah, of course. So, our wonderful drop die. My question today is if your character knew about, had all of our knowledge of, superheroes, what superpower would they pick if they could pick their superpower? And also tell us who you are and who you're...
Hi, everybody. I'm JB, better known as Drop the Die on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, OnlyFans, LinkedIn, Vampire Freaks, Etsy, wherever. Hello. Today I will be playing... What game is this? Where are we? It's been 10 years. I'll be playing Sam, your armored nuclear gigaflop. The technological marvel, I believe, would... It's hard because he does so many things now. I was gonna say teleport, but he can teleport, so I don't think he would pick that. I think that he would actually pick super strength. The idea that Legionnaire keeps getting buried under things.
True.
Some super strength might come in handy. I think that he would be like, can we not just plug that in? Let's get some of that going, for this big bulky form. Because he's not super strong, he's just big as hell.
Incredible. Much, and we'll rotate around down to our wonderful biggest and bestest bees. Biggest and bestest bees on the program.
Not strong, but big as hell is also going in my new profile on everything. So,
you're just really building up that resume.
I am. I'm just gonna rebrand based off of everything you guys say in chat. So,
not actual credits, just taglines.
Yeah. So far, so far
want.
It's just gonna be dark but so good, and not strong but big as hell. I'm be like, hire me. What's up? So. What is up, everybody? I am a Big Bees, and I will be playing Ethan, our saddest and just most distraught boy, the Nova. And what was the question again?
If Ethan had Bees' knowledge of superheroes, what superpower would they pick? If they could pick. And also, I do need 3 of your special skills on your resume that are totally nothing.
Okay, got you. So for the additional power, I think, truthfully, I think it would be Nightcrawler's teleportation. Yeah, I think he would choose that. Just mainly because that's what I love the most, and Ethan be damned, that's what he's gonna love. So,
I am Ethan.
Yeah. So, and my 3 are, like I said, dark but so good, not strong but big as hell, and also literal human bear. So, yeah.
That is an important distinction. You can't just call yourself a bear.
Yes, I can.
Well, that's fair. I feel like that's not... It's a different message than what literal human bear conveys. Different. Saying, I'm a bear, and saying, I'm a literal...
I will handle the discrepancies when they come up. Because then somebody's like, oh, that. And I'll be like, no, just human teddy bear. Here, hug, friend. Then boom. Ends it right there.
And
Human teddy bear and just bear mean very different things in different communities.
Very different.
Oh yeah, I know. Oh yeah, I know.
Yeah.
I know. It is what it is.
You may not know this, but there are these things when people grow older.
Mhm.
Fine, I will just make it human teddy bear.
I love it.
God, trying to you guys
Okay, here we go.
are
Human teddy bear.
silencing me.
Unless ...
Yeah, there you go.
And-
Human teddy bear. There, does that work?
Go. We got
To the
there.
game. Let's go.
And last but never least, our wonderful Ruby Heart Gaming. Tell us
Yeah.
about yourself, who you playing, and what superpower they would pick if they had your superhero knowledge.
Well, hello. My name is Ruby Hart. You can find me usually as Ruby Hart or Ruby Hart Gaming around the interwebs. I am an actor, streamer, and speedrunner, and I am playing Umbra / Jamie, who teleports place to place by literally fusing into shadows. And also, when every time they come out, they random character generate into a different gender presentation, height, body type, skin color, hair color, everything. I the two obvious ones that came to mind. So the first one that came to mind is just actually being able to shapeshift and control it, since in this world they have zero control over that. But the other one that I think Jamie is super fascinated with is the idea of internal thermal control. So being able to change your internal temperature so you can freeze anything to the touch, burn anything to the touch, be able to go into like a freezer or a volcano or something and be able to fully match the temperature around you so you can go into those desolate conditions without taking physical damage.
For those of you at home, Ruby doesn't have any AC, and I think that's where that came from.
What? Being able to match temperature so you're not miserable like me in the 85 to 90 degree temperature with no AC? What?
That's just a coincidence.
Laughs in Floridian.
Yeah.
I'm in the literal desert. I mean, like, we all have it bad.
No, I know. Just listen, if I had something to help with that inside, that'd be one thing. But yesterday it was 55. Today it's 90. There was no warning.
So what I'm hearing is everyone needs to head over to Stephen Dewey on Twitter, Shifty Ginger, and pay them to run into the room randomly and huck ice cubes, popsicles, and randomly spritz with a water gun during just random parts of the day.
Maybe spritzing with a water gun, not so great. I do have a very expensive camera directly in front of me, and that would
Ice
not be
bucket
stellar.
challenge.
Well, I didn't say like run in and spray and pray. Just
get a fire hose. And
no.
Sounded like though was just to impale me with these things in the
No,
middle of
like
games.
Steven would run in, hit a power slide on their knees, and then come up to face away from the camera and just spritz, and then go on. That's it.
Yeah,
that I'd be okay with. That I like.
You know, the power sliding, all the power sliding that Steven does on the daily. We know it. We can read between the lines.
God damn it! All right, we're playing a game, right?
We sure are.
Been a while, but we're playing a game. Should we give a recap to the audience so they know where we are?
That's a great idea. So I'm gonna go a little broad on the recap here and give some broad strokes. So we started. This was originally a game set in high school, and that has almost been entirely taken away by circumstance, as the players simply trying to investigate a break-in by a strange robot with a strange substance into their high school, discovered what they now know is some kind of strange like larval alien creature, which is diluting and changing some kind of like excretion juice something that it suspends itself in, which messes up and somewhat inhibits superpowers. They have connected that to what they would have previously have only thought to be kind of a fake, like haha, fictional group called Echo, which is a non-superpowered group bent on well, if they could, eliminating all superpowers from the world, as they think it would be a much more sustainable and better Earth in that way. The very founders and people who run the city, they haven't even the group is not even sure. Collecting and freezing in a crystalline stasis multiple superheroes throughout the city, and some internal drama, not limited to one of our party members breaking another part of their power. Uh, One of our party members almost time looping themselves out of existence. Another party member sacrificing their corporeal form to save that party member. And one of our group members being, I think, 2 doom signs away from their doom, if I remember correctly, JV. Which, if you don't know the
I have
system,
4 more marks and then 5 more marks after that. We're
so
fine.
you have 9 tallies, and I would say, generously, we've been doing like 3 to 4 tallies a session for you, JB.
Yeah, I've done 20 so far.
Yikes! That's
So,
big yikes.
so
You're supposed to stop me.
we have like 2 to 3, 2 to 4 sessions maybe before the big existential threat behind Armored Nuclear Gigaflop shows up, and things happen. But last session we had a bit of rest and recuperation to a degree with Ethan freeing himself from the building he collapsed on top of himself, and speaking with Dark King, the group helping cure the artifact, which is now intrinsically the way that if you wanted to just erase Umbra from existence would be an extremely efficient way to do so, and just in general collecting themselves after Operation Crystal Pepsi, where they freed all those trapped superheroes that the city government founders had trapped. So we wake up in the following morning in the hideout, the sanctuary. You all come to new information, resting and recovering. I will say, go ahead and recover all of your conditions. You want to hold on to them, you can if you feel like it, but this is like you all are like certified safe. Like you have the agents who were working against you. One of them is in the sanctuary, recovering. One of them is being held in a founder's facility with other members of the legacy. Y'all, by all intents and purposes, are safe.
Okay. So, really quick, in this circumstance, since Fantasia is not with us, do we assume that she has a cold and maybe has to stay behind or something? She doesn't usually get sick, but this
Fantasia?
Well, we all know Fantasia's dead, though.
Oh, I'm sorry. I meant Legionnaire. Oh no, I'm an idiot.
It was like,
We'll
we
get
can
to
just say she went to a farm with other
Yeah.
Fantasias.
Yeah, so Fantasia went to a farm.
I meant Leah. I'm Legionnaire. I'm sorry. Oh my god.
We'll get to Leah. Don't worry. You don't have to
Okay.
assume anything.
Okay. I think that honestly, with everything else that's been happening, the first thing that Jamie does when getting up, potentially before the others, is just going to the kitchenette and making some breakfast for the group, since we've got a lot to talk about, a lot to cover, a lot to figure out where we're going from here.
Fantasia Farm is my favorite required reading from public school.
I hate that. Really, don't make that a thing.
Love you.
I
Yeah.
love you too.
What else? What would the other two of you do in this morning? Like,
I'm gonna go online and look up flyers for the Fantasia Farm to see if I can go visit.
Weirdly, nothing comes up. Apparently, it's really off the grid. You'd have to talk to your parents.
You got to know somebody. Gotcha.
Yeah.
I think
Second of bookkeeping. I
Yeah.
just remembered bees. You
Yeah.
backtracked. You backtracked.
Oh yes,
Cutting
yes.
ties with Gigaflop for forever. Who did you
Yeah.
choose instead?
I'm gonna choose
I believe it
what's
was
his face?
yes.
Doctor
Hive.
No. Sam's doctor.
Yeah,
Yelkin?
Dr. Hive. Oh, Jelkin or Hive?
Jelkin.
Jelkin. Yeah, Jelkin.
Okay.
Because I mean, I don't see because I already like. I mean, I kind of feel like it's a waste to do Doctor. I mean, I guess we could do him, but like,
He's
I'm
technically
already
no
like,
longer
I
in
hate
the-
you, you're dead to me because you tried to kill me, kind of thing, and take over my
But
soul.
That's fair, yeah.
all adults
Dr. J
have
is-
influence over you.
I mean, yes. So
Oh,
you can
Yeah.
always
Okay.
roll
Even
to
villains.
you can always roll to resist, but mechanically, if Mr. Hive has the nerve to like tell you how you relate to the world, that is influence over you.
Oh, okay. See, I'm still learning the game, guys. I'm
Yeah,
talking to the
I would
talk to the yeah. So I would say
and
yeah, sure. I'll do Doctor Jekyll or
Here,
Hyde.
I'll in fact, I'll say because of that, I'll let you do both for that, just because they are kind of
Sweet.
linked
Awesome.
intrinsically.
Awesome.
The
Sweet.
doctors.
Yeah.
Well, technically, Mr. Hyde is Mr. Hyde because he did lose his doctorate because of all of them,
Yeah. See.
and also then the reference.
So yeah, I think I don't know. Because he had like the little mini meltdown,
Yeah,
fought with Sam, and then made up with Sam, and then kind of just I think he's just playing video games right now.
yeah. I think it would be very in character that Leah would just like, all right, round 3, like just like drag you into a fighting game
And
as
then
this.
10 minutes later, after I've just dogged her repeatedly, I'm just sitting there, and I think at this point I'm playing like some just random like beat 'em up game. I'm probably playing like Castle Crashers or something stupid.
Yeah, as breakfast is made, we can come back and have scenes with Leah next time we have Dare here this morning. But you all see Leah's father. Leah's mother, of course, still seems to be recovering after the events of Operation C. They both took uncharacteristically a lot of injuries compared to them. They be less invincible. But you see, he walks in, seemingly maybe doing a little bit better. Hey, how are you all holding up?
yes, we can. How about you? By the way, everything's for anyone. Feel free to take what you want.
Thank you. That's very. Yeah, we did real good work. I mean, that's what matters. And we all walked. Everything will be okay. We're gonna have to borrow Leah for the day here. We've got some family stuff. You know.
Uh, can you say that one
Yeah,
more time?
we have
Sorry.
we're gonna have to borrow Leah for the day. We have some family. If catch my drift.
No, with everything you all have been through, totally understand, please. Just if you all need anything, just keep in communication. We're happy to be there if you need us.
Yeah, and hopefully you shouldn't. But if you need our help, try and reach out. We should be reachable, barring any strangeness. But a couple things we need to go over. Also, it's gonna like pull out. You can see a little like a badge, some kind of like little badge. I believe a couple of you went to the founders facility where they're keeping some of the people from the other night. It's going to be full access to go speak with. Not everyone in the family's going to be visiting still. we've been keeping steady watch on for instance, the agent that trapped all of us and all of that. So, if you need to go speak to them or anyone we captured, or just want to look after anything, so we'll get you in.
Actually, great. We've been trying to follow any leads we can, and honestly, we've been hitting a lot of dead ends. So
Consider this accident.
thank you. Okay. And Jamie's gonna go ahead and get a plate together for Ethan, and after they head out, gonna kind of walk it over, and while he's playing the game by himself, got breakfast.
He pauses the game. Oh, thanks.
Yeah.
Yeah, I appreciate it. I just got a little sucked into the game. I meant to get up.
No, you're good. We got a badge for the founders facility to talk to some people over there. I think that's going to be a really good lead for us to follow. Suggestion of Leah's dad.
Oh, did he say anything about did he look okay, and did he say anything about her mom? Because I know they were all super hurt.
Right now, he seems to be doing pretty okay. They're gonna borrow Leah for the day just because they've been through a lot. They've got some crap they need to sort through. So, but I've got his phone number saved. So if we need to get a hold of him or anyone else, we should be able to. But for today, it's probably just gonna be Yumi and Sam.
Okay. All right. I
And
guess.
this
Hmm?
is so shit. Can I talk to you about something? I know that recently with all the news that has come to light, it might be a little weird considering you're my friend, but also know you're my dad, but I feel like you're the person I want to talk to about this, but you've also got to keep it cool.
He's gonna give just a very serious look to Leia. I mean, damn it, to Jamie, and then scoot over a little bit, pat the side of the couch, and just go, all right, kiddo. When you get to this point in life, you
God damn
start,
it, Mike! Calling me kiddo, I'm older than you. It's so weird. All
He's gonna
right.
go, shh. You're gonna start feeling a certain way about girls, and it's okay. Don't worry, it's
Wait.
fine.
So okay. The way you said that.
Ethan, do you have influence over Umber right now?
Uh, let's see. I believe survey says. Okay, that's fine. Don't tell me, stupid thing. Oh my god. Hold on 1 second.
Yeah.
It's cool. I didn't need that information on hand. Thanks, computer. I hate you too. All right. Survey says. No, that's fine, computer. Don't load that program I just told you to open. That's okay. I don't need that information.
In this episode, the powder faces its most dastardly foe yet, Windows
right.
operating system.
Yes, I have influence. I was gonna say I have influence over everyone but Sam, but now I have to delete Fantasia.
Go ahead, because I was gonna give you influence. I was gonna give you influence because of that. So go ahead and shift Umber's labels real quick.
Okay, I will shift. They're a growing being,
Got him
so
good.
these things happen. These shifting of
God.
labels happen.
God damn it. I love you, bees, but also
I will
shit.
shift. I will shift mundane up and freak down.
Okay, we can make that happen. Stand by. Bam and bam. Okay, got it. Cool.
No, I'm kidding. What's up? What are you, what's on your mind?
So I obviously didn't want to talk about a lot because I studied a lot when it comes to the different ways that time travel can affect and impact a world, and everything's theoretical. There are a million ways that things could have actually happened, but so many of the things say in general, you're not supposed to say, "Hey, I'm from the future." You know, that's generally considered a negative. But now we're here. So in the old timeline, um kind of had a huge crush, um and was kind of, I don't want to say in love with, but like she was the first person who made me realize what I could feel
He
for
just looks
Fantasia.
he just looks horrified at this moment. I I really don't know anything about like dating.
Well, but you
I
can,
mean, I'm here to listen. Yeah, I don't my
Lord.
I'm the old lady killer. Yeah, I I'm out of my element with that. But
No, I'm not asking you this as a tell me the perfect dating advice. I
oh,
just
okay. Thank God.
it's so I used to have these feelings for Fantasia, and
Hmm.
I never expected that when I got here and met the younger version of Fantasia that I would have feelings for her that I didn't know what to do with, but I also would develop really strong feelings for someone else who I think I think I want to pursue things with, but then that could make everything with the team complicated, and that could make things with the future complicated. So I don't know if it's a, and also like me having been raised by the future version, I don't know if it's a moral gray area to do anything about it, or if I should just chill.
Well, I don't know exactly how much this is going to help, but it's kind of like I said before. Um, we all may look the same, but we're not those people. Um, we may have, act the same, look the same, but just with everything that's happened with you coming back and, I don't want to say interfering because that sounds terrible, but I guess good interfering.
I mean,
Um,
who knows if it's actually good interfering at this point? I could have fucked everything, and the multiverse is slowly, crumbling in on us. But anyway,
it doesn't matter. Whatever happens, we're gonna, you know, we're gonna face it together. So, and now, unless like our minds get wiped, I don't think, things are gonna go the way they did in your timeline. So I would say it was a good intervention. Um, Especially, if that means I get to live. That's really good. Definitely not, upset at that.
yeah, I prefer that. I prefer
Yeah.
that.
But for this mystery lady that you're talking about that no one else on the team has any idea about, whoever this person may be,
Okay, shut the
I
fuck up. We
think
know who it
it's
is. Moving on.
I think it's fine. I don't see any issue. Again, you have to. I think your issue is because you're still holding on to that past future thing. But I don't think it's an issue. I mean, call me crazy. Again, not an expert, but I'm pretty sure she feels the same way. So, yeah.
Okay. Thanks.
Yeah, it's what a dad does. It's all part of my job.
Hey, remember that letting go of the other timeline shit so that we can
Whoa, whoa, whoa,
focus
whoa, whoa,
on the
whoa.
now, the kiddo and the dad
Jamie,
thing? Like,
Jamie, as your father, you do what I say, not what
as
I
your
do.
father, okay, all right. Well, I'm the one still making the breakfast and cleaning up after your messes. So when you
Oh,
finish these, you
details,
want to do the
details.
dishes?
Shh, I can't hear you. You're going through a tunnel.
I'm literally and like there's the bubble, like Jamie has stepped out of the shot, and there's the bubble of just the chibi version of their face saying, "I'm literally across the room from you." All right, I'm gonna go get Sam, and then I'm gonna go look in the back room to see where Sam is, so we can all regroup together as a team.
Dearest Robert,
Yeah.
what is the weather like today?
Clear.
It is a clear, bright day, so
Yeah.
when you start looking for Kikaflop, he is not in the sanctuary. You eventually look around, and probably out of one of the sanctuary windows or security feeds or whatever, you see that he is outside in the little patch of grass with the single tree in it, in the sun, holding what looks to be a solar panel, and is just kind of soaking it up as if he were sunbathing. And the solar panel is plugged right into his ribs, right into that white meshy material. And he's just standing outside, statue still. And his eyes are little thin lines.
I think Jamie comes up and doesn't want to interrupt because they seem so serene right now. So I think that before actually interrupting the moment, and this being one of the first genuinely, no one is super tense, no one's in danger at this immediate second moments, Jamie's actually just gonna lay in the grass next to Sam and like take in the day. I
There's a strong smell of ozone and
mhm.
like warm rubber, like the inside of a car when it's really warm.
Okay.
But after a few minutes, breeze going by, soft clouds in the high up stratosphere. The cars are off in the distance, sort of thing. Be-doo, be-doo. And Sam's eyes open. He unplugs the little solar panel and gently sets it in the grass and sits up. Hello.
When you
He's,
add the solar, that's really cool.
he stands up and like shakes his arms like he's fixing to do something. Can I help you with something?
I was just gonna get us all to regroup, but we also don't have to do it immediately. So I don't know. We've we've been through some shit the last few days. I didn't want to interrupt what you were doing.
He flexes his hand, big fingered, 3-fingered hand in front of him, but he hasn't taken his attention away from you. He flexes the hand a few times, and he says, "Oh, it's no bother at all. I'm just trying to manifest the Legion air power." And he uses the energy that he just soaked up to try and transmute his hand into their armor material. Because he's done it twice now, and he's trying to see if he can get the energy just right. Because it's the only reason that Leah has told him he can't try and convert energy back into anyone in the families, because it nearly hurt somebody. So he's thinking if he can perfect it, maybe he can help them get their powers back.
It's really cool.
Go ahead and roll to unleash your powers.
How dare? Why would you do this to me?
Rolling for things in a tabletop game?
Make you roll dice
How
in this
dare!
game about
It's an 11.
11?
Yes.
Yeah. So it's not an impressive. I almost imagine it's one of those like anti-climax, like the big like building swelling orchestral score, and then there's just like a small little like stiletto dagger of golden light, just like peeking out of your wrist.
Well, that's cute.
Takes it and holds it in the light just for a moment, and when it doesn't crumble away and fade, he goes, steady progress. 22.1% more efficiency.
Still working on it.
What? He blinks.
You said that that was 22% more efficient, and that makes me think that you've been working on this for a bit.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. A little bit. The eyes are droopy.
Do you need to recharge if that
He's
exuded
already
a lot?
fishing like he can't quite find the little port in his side, and then it plugs in, and the little lines next to his eyes, bleep, 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 like they're filling back up. It takes quite a lot of energy to create this matter.
I
It's
mean,
something, I think, to do with their DNA that lets them synthesize it so easily.
well, and on top of that, this changing yourself, changing your literal physical makeup to take on other people's powers, it's new. You're still figuring it out. In tandem with the fact that, you know, the lilac's power is so monumental. So here,
You did this to yourself. Gigaflop says, honestly, if I could only control these powers a little better, if I could maybe be more of the person and less of the machine, I might be able to interface with this type of thing more easily. But honestly, since that time trapped with Chrome, it's been very difficult for me to remember exactly what everything was like before. I think I stretched myself a little thin, trying to remember all of the things every moment. I mean, you're the only one who saw it. You know exactly how deeply I went. Those moments all get so crisscrossed, and it's like what Ethan said. I can remember every moment with absolute clarity, but the rest of you feel the moments when they change. And since I'm talking about it openly, I mark my doom track.
8, 8, 8, 8.
Jamie nods and just says, "You were in there for a really long time, and I can understand how it'd be extremely hard to come back from something like that. I obviously can't relate, but I can only
You relate
imagine."
more than others.
In what way do you think?
You are from a different time. You synthesize everything you see differently than we do.
I suppose that's
Even
true.
even the relationships you have formed with myself and Ethan and Leia and the late Fantasia. Did you form them with us? Or the versions of us you knew in your time? He goes, woo, out loud and does the thing with his hands. Know what I mean?
Yeah. No, I know exactly what you mean. I have an idea, and let me know if this is something that you aren't interested in, but you said that one of the things you think may help you with this is feeling more connected to your human side, right?
I think what would help me the most is 1.1 gigawatts of power. But sure, knowing the human inside helps in all things. He gives a thumbs up.
So, how about this? We got a pass from Leah's dad to go do some interviews, but that can honestly wait until later. That is not a we need to do it right now thing. It's a lead. It's not an urgent one. What if we take the day to just go do something fun? We could we could hit an arcade, or we could go see a movie. We could there's actually this really cool place where you can do like indoor skydiving. We could do something crazy like that. Or if you've ever thought of something you've always wanted to do, like on a bucket list and never had the chance to, we could do that. I'm throwing out ideas here, spitballing even something like mini golf. I don't know, but if some of these would help you just have fun and relax and feel more in touch with that other side, I'd love to help with that. And then we can certainly charge you up and get you that extra power later. But if getting in touch with your human side is what's going to help, I know that you may not be the same Sam that I grew up with, but we used to go to the arcade and go mini golfing all the time, and you would always go way too easy on me with the arcade games, but then your hands would always fumble over the golf club, and yeah, I felt like I was a little more even on the mini golf side. So I don't know. That might be dumb, but it's a thought.
Part of me feels as though that would be gross negligence, seeing as the events that have unfolded these past few days. But if Leia is away for the day, and Leia does account for 21.7% of our overall power output as a team, perhaps we shouldn't bite off more than we can chew. And he leans in conspiratorially, so close that like his head takes up 3/4 of the frame. There's just your little face poking up at him. I believe Ethan is having some trouble right now. Maybe the mini golf can assist him in dealing with his complicated and complex feelings.
Day of some fun and unwinding, and then going to follow this again, not urgent, but importantly, that we can take care of later today. It does not have to be at this moment. We're still following the lead. We're still helping with what's going on right now, but we can take some time to maybe reach some kind of equilibrium, at least for a little bit. Plus, I know that you and I, in very weird ways, are way older for our age than we appear. Right now, Ethan's still just a kid. So having a day of some simple fun after weeks of nothing but stress might help.
I think
I,
so. Perhaps.
I just saw your comment in the chat, and this, I, God damn it, JV.
Even at mini golf, my doom will arise.
From
God,
the putt golf does the doom subside.
Allow
can we
me-
do something to have fun so your doom doesn't go up? How can
Allow
I
me
make my
advanced
doom go up?
calculations. I will wield my powers to make the perfect putt.
Here,
I take the Goodick putt putt move from another playbook.
here, if you want to recharge a little bit, I can go get Ethan and let him know what the game plan is.
Actually, I think the system demands that I share a vulnerability or weakness with you. Ask them if they think you're losing or gaining humanity. You think I'm losing or gaining humanity?
You specifically said that you thought it'd be a good idea to get more in touch with that side of yourself. You've, even when being stuck in that awful space, been trying to help make sure that we're all okay. Taking care of your friends is a really goddamn human thing to do. So yeah, I'd say you're leaning more that way.
The worthless option for me. But thank you. He says,
You literally posted in the Doom in the chat earlier that we're the ones who were supposed to help keep you away from your Doom. I've been fucking trying, JB.
This wasn't my doom. This was me being a transformed. God, Ruby, really? Okay, yes. We should certainly see if there's anything. Bees is like trying not to laugh. Certainly, we should see if there is something that Ethan perhaps wishes to do, as I do think that it has been very difficult on him, learning of his misuse of power, learning that he was betrayed, nearly killing someone, getting into a fight, getting into another fight, getting into another fight, getting into a verbal altercation, being wounded.
I know the
being
resume.
hurt.
Yeah.
And like he's still going, but your text bubble covers it.
Yeah, it just as we shift over to the next panel, it's just like a background of like the list of all the terrible things that have happened to Ethan.
It's been a rough
in
48
the season.
hours.
God, I can see one shot that's just like in black, like it's the two of them, right? Just standing there and black background with white text of just the whole list and Jamie's face sort of dropping as Giga just
in the animated
recites
series.
it all.
In the animated series, Chibi Gigaflop is just like has like a whiteboard and like a long like a meter stick and just like pointing down this massive list.
Oh my god. And then finally when the list ends, just maybe don't bring up the whole list at mini golf. Maybe.
Okay. The little charge meter is like almost back up to the top. Like he cycled enough. Okay.
During that whole list.
Yeah.
Okay. Jamie is gonna say, okay, be right back, and run inside and like go up to Ethan. Hey, pitch.
Ethan's like holding like a little like small duffel bag, and it's just like, huh? What happened?
What's the bag for?
Oh, I was actually while after I finished eating, I was thinking, and I was like, I could be sitting here playing games, or I could go do some training and actually work more on getting these powers under control, so that way I am, more helpful and not just rolling dice in a roulette of am I going to kill everyone?
Or counter offer. Counter offer. Hear me out.
Mm-hmm.
We do that later today. And right now, you, me, and Giga go have some fun.
There's that Mufasa style, like 10 opacity version of Giga.
I was going to say the ghost. Come on.
A force ghost
coming from the ceiling with the finger out, and the quote, "Find out what Ethan wants to do, and we can do that."
We've been through a lot recently. We do have a lead.
Oh my
and
God!
you do
Especially
absolutely need to
with
do your training.
and the moment you say we've been through a lot, he's gonna be like, "Oh my God!" Especially, and starts listing off everything that Giga listed off.
Ethan just starts pulling out the chalkboard.
Jamie's like, "Is this a recap episode? What is happening?"
We like look down and there's like the little like starting like airing now in at 7:30 like
Yeah, it's a pizza ticker. It's like,
and as this entire thing goes on, I think this second time there is a full-on The Office shot where Jamie just stops and looks directly at the artist and out at the panel like, what the fuck is happening? But finally, when you get through the list,
I think,
all
so
that.
it's been a lot, yeah.
So you've been working your ass off. We've been through a lot. You don't have to say the list again. You just went through it. I suggest that this morning, Yumi and Giga go grab a movie, go mini golfing, go to the arcade, do something that is just fun, where you get to take a break and be a teenager.
He goes,
Because
shh, shh, shh,
I
shh.
know you're my dad, but I get to
No.
be your parent for a second.
He goes, shh. You had me at arcade.
Amazing. Incredible. And then you can train later and we can go question some people later. But for now, let's do this.
Okay. I wanna fight it, and I wanna all that stuff, but I think you're right. I think it'll be best not just for me, but for all of us to go and do that. So yeah, I guess let me just put my bag back up, and I will be right outside to meet you guys.
Giga and I will just be in the front yard. He's recharging right now.
Okay.
And I go back outside and lay in the grass to join Sam.
Incredible. After a little bit of time, we get the like, recharge noise.
Mhm.
And Ethan, you're out.
Yeah, I'm just gonna go back, put the bag down, kind of stare at the bag for probably like 30 seconds. All right, and then head back out.
I could have swore you're gonna be like, I'm gonna sneak out the window and go get in a fist.
Yeah. Listen, that's a very bees move. Okay.
Hey,
Don't you try and deny that.
changing.
Don't you try and
lies.
deny that.
I-
That is a bees
The
move.
voice in my head can shut all the hell up too.
Incredible.
I know. I am not gonna be like, no, and just run out and punch no person. No, I'm going to enjoy fun with my friends.
Mhm.
All right. I want you all to roll me mundane.
Okay.
All of your best stat, I'm sure.
I got a 7.
Ooh.
I got a 7. Yeah, that's not bad.
I got a 13.
Incredible.
What the hell? Nice.
I'm mundane as shit.
I'm glad that I shifted my labels last time because
Yeah.
this lets me fail. I've only failed like
God
4
damn it.
rolls since we started playing this freaking game, and I finally get a potential.
Okay. This
Potential
makes
for trying to have fun.
so as we do this montage,
Giga
keep
Flop's
in mind
sweating.
that Ethan is kind of losing himself. Jamie is having a hard time like getting fully into it, and whatever that means. And Gigaflop is this is going about as well as we might expect for Gigaflop at this present moment. Like for instance, I'm imagining like one of the first like because here's the montage. It's like Polaroid pictures like lining on top of each other. And so I'm imagining like Gigaflop like smashing some like cotton candy, like everyone's having like cotton candy on like a pier near the arcade, and like Gigaflop just puts it on.
That's why I keep laughing every time people start cooking breakfast to bring everyone together. I'm like, thank you. Thank you. I feel so
Yes,
involved.
thank you. Yes, the pizza. So, I have a proposition of we just go around the table a couple times and just doesn't have to be just around you. Let's just make a little montage together of hanging out, going to arcades and stuff like that. So whoever the spirit moves, and then we'll just kind of go around the circle on the overlay a couple times.
Okay, so I see one of the first ones just being like Jamie rolling up to the arcade, like excited to hopefully help them get a little bit out of their own heads. And I think as soon as they go in, there's like one particular ride that they're all super interested in. And then it's like, you have to be within these heights in order to ride. And Sam is way too tall for the ride. And Jamie, with the form that they are currently assuming, is just too short. So the only person who can go is Ethan. So they both just like stand and kind of watch and wave, and Jamie has that thought bubble of, fuck, I wanted this to... Okay, that's okay. That's a first attempt. We're gonna keep going.
And then we get the next of like a little light bulb of Jamie's head, and you just like run into a back alley and just like shift like 2 inches a bunch of times until you're right, and then you're right.
Shift
You
a
could
bunch
just
until the thing is, I definitely see it as like some of her shifts are also affected by her current psychology, like how her mental space is. And the more she thinks about, I need to be taller, she just keeps getting
shorter.
for a while.
So
Finally,
Jamie comes out
getting
like
worse.
4'6".
Yep. Like she started at like 4'11", something like that, and was down to like 4'5". And it's like, this wasn't a great situation.
Meanwhile, we have the 7-foot tall Gigaflop just standing.
Yeah, the panel just shows Gigaflop's stomach and down, and Jamie standing next to it.
And then it has like the dotted lines to clearly say these are their exact heights at this
Yeah,
moment.
no, and well, what we get is we then get the zoom out, and we get the perfect in between of the acceptable heights for the ride.
Uh-huh. And that's where
Just
Ethan
Ethan's
stands
face
before
perfectly.
walking.
Yeah, Ethan's like happy face in the middle.
Yeah. So that's
With cotton candy,
that's
just
panel
Yeah.
for the montage.
Perfect. Bees.
okay. So then the next one, so that didn't go exactly as planned. So then they're gonna go, and when they go and do mini golf, you see Jamie go up and start knocking him in, and anytime that Ethan goes and like hits the ball and it looks like it's going off a little, he's gonna look around and then try and like gingerly kind of like vibrate the ground to knock it in. And then so what he does is like most of the time that Sam's been going up to has been playing mini golf with us, has been fumbling with the stick for a while. So finally, after and it's just been killing all of his shots. So finally, yeah, the that's what I meant to say, the golf club.
Yeah,
And
the stick.
yeah, the
Yeah,
stick,
the
the golf stick,
The golf stick.
the golf ball hitting stick. So then they get the bright idea of like tying it to his hand, so that way he doesn't have to he can just swing it. So he finally sits there, aims, gets does his calculations, hits it perfect, goes right towards the hole. And Ethan had he had vibrated the ground a little too much, and so as soon as it's going towards the hole, that ground just kind of collapses in front of it, and it just goes down into the little chasm.
And it's one of those holes with the like 3 different holes that goes into different tubes that goes so we just see all the little different tubes.
Yeah. And it's like it was right there, and you just see Sam, just like 3 panels of Sam just staring, not moving, not doing anything.
Like 4 pixels closer, like not very close, but just a little bit closer in each panel.
Incredible.
So I think that'll be the next one. I want Sam to have fun, damn it.
JB, are you gonna be the one?
Be the one to what? I'm imagining there's the carnival style games that some arcades like to have, and they're like, I can't really lose unless I tell myself to at video games and stuff. But carnival games, I think that these two are like conspiratorially in one panel whispering to each other. And there's just the big question mark over Gigaflop's head. And then there's like milk bottles stacked up. And Seismic takes the ball, rears back, and knocks most of them down. Yeah, gets like a piece of gum or whatever because they're terrible prizes.
Yeah.
And then Umbra takes it and like gauges the shadows just right, throws it, misses, and it comes back out of the shadow and knocks most of them down. And the guy's like, "Wait, what happened? What was that?" And then it comes to Gigaflop, who's holding it, and it's just this little baseball between his fingers. And then it cuts to the panel like inside his head where the background's black and Matrix style with a little 3D like dotted line blueprint of the angle and trajectory to knock all of the things down.
It's like a heist movie.
Yeah, and he tosses it like really limp-wristedly, and it knocks all of them down. And the guy's like, "Hey, big winner, super luck. You want to try again?" And he's like, "Absolutely." And he throws another one and knocks them all down. And the guy's like a little red-faced. He's like, "All right, gonna let it ride for the mega prize, right? Of course." Hands him the ball and like puts some sticky tack or something under it, and then Gigaflop, like, the 3D model spins back around and he calculates and recalculates. And he throws it the last time and hits it just a little off center and knocks him over. And the guy's like sweating and red-faced and mad. "You're cheating!" Like, "Oh, okay." And Gigaflop turns to walk around. Like, just walk away. And these two look furious, like threatening the guy in the background with these little chibi fists and steam coming off of their heads. And then the two of them come back with this giant stuffed animal. Like, "Here, haha." He takes it.
As
like,
Sam's walking
"I won
away,
one."
as Sam's walking away, there's the little panel of like the guy's like, "You're cheating," and Sam's like, "Okay," and starts to walk away. And then the next panel is little chibi Ethan with like just the like circles around for arms where he's like swinging, and you see Jamie like holding him back.
Yeah.
No,
And he's just
Jamie would
breathing
be there
fire.
with
Ah.
you. No,
Oh,
Jamie's
okay, so
description
then
was
that's
very
what it'll be.
accurate.
So
Yeah.
then, yeah.
Jamie's
So-
right there doing the same.
Yeah.
Just gnawing. It's the picture where you look like a bug gnawing on his head and
Yeah.
running back and forth in the background.
Yes.
And
Exactly
Sam's
that.
just like looking around at the different things to try.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
There we go.
Okay, one panel that I absolutely see is in like there I'm specifically picturing there was one arcade that we had back in Virginia that had a mini golf course, and it had arcade games, it had indoor roller coasters, and it had like a big laser tag arena. And this is one thing that like Jamie loves to do. So they go and get the tickets to the laser tag, and there are all these rules about don't run, don't curse, don't do all these things. And then it ends up being the three of them against like an army of 8-year-olds, and they get way too intensely into it. With like
The 8-year-olds are drawn like a Saturday morning cartoon, and we're all drawn to the max anime
Yeah.
style with the dark
Yeah,
shadows.
Like Sandeep Brannigan's
Yeah,
18th birthday
first-
party.
And I think at first, like, as we're all putting on the vests, we're like, all right, this is gonna be fun. We're gonna play some laser tag, and it's gonna be no big deal. And these kids are like, you're stinky and stupid. We hate you. Screw you. Like, all these different things. And then it has just, like, these bubbles of a bunch of things that are bleeped out. So we don't actually know what they say, but it's enough to, like, make all of them angry. And immediately they switch into the different art styles. And it's like,
Yes.
no, this is war. And all three of them have so much fun with it until then the game ends early because one of the kids is like, oh, they made me stub my toe. And we're escorted out.
The light comes on, and you
We're
see
still the winners. Like, the scores are still the winners. And you're like, that's
Yeah.
And they're like, "We need you to leave."
It's like
481
700
to
to 30.
Yeah.
yeah.
I was
We
gonna
need
say,
you to
like,
leave. High score.
the light comes on, and Ethan's like holding one up, holding one of the kids up as a human shield while like firing at all the others.
Yeah, it was 100% like slow motion, like World War II film, like choral music, like like
And there's one particular kid that, like, the whole game has really been pissing Jamie off, and they come out almost cowboy
It's the
style
birthday
of the
boy.
two of them doing a standoff. And then finally he goes to pull up the gun. She pulls up a gun, hits his chest, and when he goes to hit her, she just phases for a second because the entire thing is in goddamn shadows. And he's like, no! What? And loses it. But it just seems like a trick of the light because the lights are strobe, and then they're like, what you gonna do about it? You can't see me.
The vest is just taped to the front of Gigaflop because it can't fit
Yeah.
around him.
One on and one on the back so that technically it's still fair. I love this so much.
Like you each have a vest, and then the whole team has like the whole row, and then Gigaflop has the rest of your team's vests on.
Yeah, and I will say, I think that it's definitely a scene that like is really, really cool and epic. Then when we get escorted out, it gets real serious for a minute, and then the
Yeah.
moment we all see the high scores, all of our video game loving brains just go full excited eyes, and the whole thing like ends with the final pose of yeah. So that's what I'm gonna say. One of the Polaroids
It
is
ends
that
in the,
final
like,
we got high
yeah!
scores pose.
Like, yeah! And then it immediately cuts to like just like 10 8-year-olds just kind of bummed out.
A security officer with their arms crossed looking at us like we're crazy.
Looking at us like crazy, and then just like Saturdays.
And the birthday boy has like the ultimate soccer mom, so we have to deal with the lecture, but like it's okay because we got the high score and her kid ain't shit. What?
There's a single Polaroid after that where the soccer mom is standing pointing the finger with her pump half off of her foot. She's so mad, sort of thing. And then the very next Polaroid is there's some fucking monster terrorizing the city in the background. And we're jumping off to go tend to it, and she's freaking out and running toward the camera away from the monster. And then it just goes back to us having fun.
Yes. Yes, I love this. But that's mine. Moving on to V's.
Incredible.
Oh God, I didn't think we had to do another one.
I have a wrap up one when
Okay.
we feel like this little montage is.
I'll take us home, Bees.
All right.
There's the scene where Bees comes up, or I'm sorry, Ethan comes up to Gigaflop, says it's time. Gigaflop's eyes go narrow. Fine. We've been putting this off long enough. Yeah. And then you see the panel and the arrows and the
It's
railing
revolution.
is DDR.
Yes!
And this big pillowy Pete barely fit on the squares, but Gigaflop is just like. And the only reason he's keeping up with the much more nimble Ethan is because he's literally flipping through the program and doing the calculations on what the next move is going to be to try and figure out where to put his feet. Ethan's just like hands behind his back. He's been doing this all his life. He's prepared for this moment.
DDR.
He's one of those that like
Golden
plays
Knight.
an extreme and holds on to the back bar so that he doesn't have to worry about balance.
But since I rolled a 7 on my mundane, I am the loser. And then there's the scene where Ethan is up on the handrail, balanced with his arms up, and Gigaflop is almost the same height when he's on the rail, but his head's down.
Jamie gives applause while like eating some of the carnival popcorn. It's like
And I actually have two little snaps to wrap us out. First, we get the prize counter, and clearly one of the most exciting things is there's like gashapon superheroes, like little figures of supers, and with very little tickets from losing all of that Gigaflop. You walk up, and the only figure that you are able to afford is a little Dark King. The least
I
popular.
thought you were gonna say a little Pomerang. You'd be like, yes.
No, the least popular figure, the figure nobody wants, little Dark King.
that's perfect for you.
And then all of you get a message from. Make sure I get her name right because it has been a bit since we played, hasn't it, friends? Yes, Stone Lady. Saying, could you all meet me by the beach soon?
Hey guys, Stone Lady wants us to meet her down on the beach. Are we good for that?
Sure. Sam?
Okay.
Okay. And I text her back. Sounds great. See you there.
Incredible. So you all head down, and there she is again, like a like literal stone statue of a woman, like 6'3", pure marble, in like athletic leisure wear, standing, and in her hand, a like orb, with this kind of it's similar to like the mesh that you have on your body, Gigaflop. Like it's some kind of like almost like Kevlar-esque, like interlaced mesh, and behind her, two interfixed into the ground, are two large metallic poles, coming up in parallel, and between it a kind of interlaced mesh, as she holds up a volleyball and in front of a volleyball net. Hey,
Hi.
I never feel like feel like I never got to fully thank you all for what happened the other night. And you all are in high school. And there's a lot of things that are unfair and unfun about the position we all are in. But you know what? I found volleyball with a ball that's very hard to destroy is not one of them. Would you all like to join me?
I would love to. Here,
Great.
hang on. I brought a
Sure.
change of here. And Jamie like excitedly runs to the porta potties on the beach and like has a swimsuit at the ready. Like in case they all were like wanting to go to the beach, even though Jamie didn't think they would ever get to the beach, and comes back out in like a almost crop bikini top and swim trunks. And they are very stretchy, so if a size change happens, then they should be okay.
Which it did.
Which it did, for sure. Yeah.
So, Boomerang also comes out, looking to be ready. Because we have maybe a little bit of an experience gap, we think 2 versus 3 should be fair for now, but talking with Boomerang, I don't want this to be unfair, so and she like clicks a thing, and an awning comes out to put the little volleyball pitch in shade. To be clear, all powers are fair game. To the victors go the spoils.
Really? And then JV looks around and realizes that it is like full sunlight out.
They're an awning.
Awning and
They
shade.
just put an
for
awning
you.
up.
Oh, true. Oh, amazing.
They thought of
Okay,
it.
hell yeah. Hell yeah.
I hope y'all are ready for the best, for the most interesting encounter. So, who's the leader? Who's the leader of the volleyball team?
Points to Laird. I mean, god damn it! Why is that happening
Oh.
to Jamie?
Go to the Fantasia
me.
farm, bees.
Jesus. Points to Jamie.
Incredible. So, Jamie, do you have influence over every other teammate?
As a matter of fact, I do. Yeah, I do.
Incredible. We have 3 team. You have the same purpose in this. Does anybody?
Yep.
Do either of you mistrust Jamie at this time? All right, y'all have 4 team to win this battle. So how this is gonna work is, because you are facing off against 2 adults who do this a lot in their free time, you have to make moves to put this in your favor. So, Mundane will just like play volleyball, which is a valid option. But, of course, powers are on limits. So, what happens? Stone Lady has the first serve, and it is brutal. Because, like, a couple tons worth of stone is slamming into this volleyball.
Okay. I will say that the moment that happens, if it's coming in at that hard a speed or that fast a speed, because Stone Lady is the one bringing it in, Jamie just goes, "Ah!" and immediately pops out and pops back in underneath, quickly pop it up, and just calls out, "Sam!"
All right, give
So
me.
it is now essentially spiking upwards.
Yeah, so we're playing a little loosey goosey for this. So I'm gonna call that it's gonna be a superior to have the like reaction speed to get there fast enough.
Okay, that's a 8. That's an 8
Okay.
total.
So how this is also gonna work when it's on your side, full success, you get it to the other side. If you get 2 mixed successes in a row, then it drops. If you fail, it drops.
Okay.
So, Sam.
Mm-hmm.
Why would you set me up to serve? That's a creepy thing. Fuck.
As you teleport beneath and just barely manage to like get it
Because I'm trying to help you. I want us to be a team.
I was fixing to defend you with my +3 savior, but no, gotta serve now. Yeah, so I guess I'll just roll danger to spike it. I don't have much other choice. He goes, oh dear, and reaches up and swap, hits it. 9.
Incredible. Yeah, I'm gonna. So here, what I'll say is, since that was a mixed, I will on a. Great, you get it to the other side, and y'all want low numbers, and Bumring throws like 2 small devices, and as it flies out, but as it hits, it flies over just on the other side, on the out of bound. Y'all have a point. We'll go to best of 3 here for y'all.
Okay.
So it's y'all serve.
Ethan.
Who's gonna serve?
Ethan.
Ah.
Then both of us immediately, the heads go.
Do
Do you know how to serve?
Yeah, I just I'm gonna and I would like to burn.
Okay, roll plus conditions.
Well, because of somebody, goddamn Rob, I don't have conditions.
Yay!
Ugh, that's gonna be. It's just plus conditions.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Let me see. Okay, so on a hit, hold 3. On a 7 to 9, mark a condition. Okay, so I have to mark a condition.
You mark 1 condition and get 3 burn.
Okay, so then I am going to do insecure. I am insecure. Wait, hold on. That's stupid. I hate this thing. There we go. All right, so I will. I think what I'm going to do is. Okay, what I'm going to do right now, I'm going to. So he just like takes a deep breath. He looks at both of them. His eyes are closed. He's thinking of what Dark King went over with him and his training there, and he just goes, all right, let's do this. And he throws it up, and he just like charges, just like from the soles of his feet, just ripples energy up into his hand, and just as he hits it, there's just going to be kind of a shock wave that comes out, that creates like a mini crater underneath him. And I want to do worship. And I put out a tremendous display of my might. I will spend 1 burn to awe an audience into silence, respect, and attention when you unleash your powers.
Incredible. Yeah.
So
why don't you?
I think I have to roll to unleash.
Yes.
Yeah.
Unless you also overcharge.
No. I'm gonna roll to unleash. Let me do that. So to unleash my powers, what is that? I roll with what?
Freak.
Okay, so that's a 13. So yeah,
Right in it's like out of a Wii Sports, like the perfect tennis serve, like just like a miniature comet, this volleyball just slams into the beach. We get like an impact crater of like poof, as it just right in the center, perfect shot, and those two dolls are just like completely taken aback as
Sand
this
sprays
massive-
everywhere, then a boomerang goes by. Like
Yeah.
way too late.
Yeah, like not even close as just this perfect crater, and like y'all have to like take a quick pause as like collects the beach back together to have a like even pit to play volleyball in.
He's
I
just
want
like,
so badly for the in awe moment. There also just to be a whole line of onlookers that when we turn our heads, there are like kids on bikes who have stopped riding, someone with ice cream that like falls off the cone that they just go.
Yes,
Dolphins
there's
looking on.
Yeah.
in the water.
there's now a couple dozen
Yeah.
couple dozen like onlookers watching this go on.
Yeah.
So it's a serve to y'all. Let me see how bad it is.
so Ethan is pure red at this moment and just embarrassed.
I also just had a thought that I want to make canon. Because again, psychological state affects what they change into. When that teleport happened, Jamie was 4'5", and when they did the ha to set it and then finish the play, and they're like, "All right, let's regroup." Dan's up 6 foot, like volleyball player height. Yeah.
Perfection. All right, so the serve. You see now, Bummering. Like, okay, beginner's luck.
I got
But here we
sand in
go.
my pants.
Yeah, a little shaking out of the super suit happens. But you see, tosses the ball up and just seems to like normal serve it. But then, as it's coming down, a small little device that was attached to the back of it fires, and it basically does like a curveball and is coming at a weird angle. Who's gonna try and get it?
I will use Reality
Super
Storm.
two, come on.
Yeah, I'm going to use Reality Storm. I channel a destructive burst of my powers. Spend 1 burn to directly engage a threat using your powers, rolling plus freak instead of danger. If you do, you will cause unwanted collateral damage unless you spend another burn. I got 2 burns, so that's what we're going to do.
So go ahead and roll.
So I will, roll with freak instead of danger. Alrighty. That's a 12.
Incredible. So roll a d6. On a 6, they'll lose it. Otherwise, it'll be another volley back, and then if you hit that volley back 5 or 6, they'll lose it. Et cetera.
That's a 1.
Okay. So, how do you handle this?
Okay. So, so Boomerang launches it towards us. I think really just I'm trying to think. I think I just kind of just glide over to it. Like I literally just vibrate I vibrate myself against the ground to where it just like it turns into kind of like if I was skating on ice.
Yeah.
And I
So,
just
like, magnet floating.
yeah. And I just run over there real quick and manage to, oh no, you know what? I actually scratch that. What happens is I see it like coming down about to hit the ground, and I'm like, no, and I just channel all my power into the spot underneath the ball, and it just creates that buffer, and it just like the ball goes and like just stops, and then as I'm lifting it up so that somebody can pop it back over the the net.
Incredible. Who wants to pop it back over then?
Since I threatened to do it, we may as well do it.
Do
I'm
it.
going to mark a doom track.
Damn it!
Seven.
Use
Wait,
an
no,
ability
Jamie,
from
no,
another
Jamie, no,
class.
damn
I'm going to mark a doom track to use telekinesis to throw it over the net.
Ooh, all right. Roll me a d6 on a 5 or 6.
Bottom d6. Okay, that's a 5.
Oh, incredible! Tell me how. Just describe.
So there's that dive and swipe from Ethan, and it goes up. He's like, "Somebody get it!" And Umbra crouches, about to like jump through the shadow, and it just like starts spinning and spinning and spinning and spinning and spinning. And like no huge explosion or anything,
Yeah.
but it
It's
just
like-
whips. It whips around their arms when they go to swat at it, and then into the sand. And Gigaflop goes, "Yay!" Central processing 91%.
Did you do that?
Yeah.
Okay, we just got 3-0'd. That's
How?
we need to rematch. We clearly weren't ready. So that was practice. You all are now congrats. You all now officially know how to play.
Oh,
And
you
now
can
we can
see the
do
defeat
real-
for round 1, and we could do a
They-
round 2.
They take
This
the
one's for
weights
real.
off.
Double or nothing.
No,
Double.
no, that one was still real. You would have said it was real if you won. Don't be a sorry sport.
Well, but like
Time out real quick, guys.
Expected a double or nothing.
Time out. Just real quick, I was just alerted there is a potential tornado in the area. So if I just go deuces, then that's why. But until then, I'm still good to go. I just wanted to let y'all know real quick.
Okay.
Or if you just see me go, then yeah.
Great.
So
Yeah, please be
I
safe.
promise nothing. Never.
Please be
Yeah, the
safe.
two
Oh,
of
yeah,
them take
I'm-
off their Rock Lee weights and make giant craters. Now to play real volleyball.
So
These
Double or nothing?
boomerangs were 100 pounds. I look to Jamie. I've got 2 more Doom tracks to fill today.
No.
Let's do it.
We accept your rematch if you accept that that was not a practice round and you concede that that was a defeat.
Pomering's like,
And then
"Oh,
a
yeah,
bunch of the kids go, ooh.
let it be known that the very prestigious Bumerang and honorable Stone Lady have been valiantly defeated.
Wait, I want to record this for my friend Leah.
No,
Can you say
that
one
was
more
not
time?
part of the deal. That
No,
was
it's
not
only
part
for
of
my friend Leah. I'm not
Did
posting
you
this
get in the
online
crowd?
anywhere.
I got it!
Amazing. Can you send that to me? Here, hang on. And Jamie runs over to like
Oh my
get it
God,
from that
hi!
person.
You're so cool. You're so cool.
Hashtag Umbra Snap.
Hey, thanks. And gets the video, and then the moment that gets yelled from the background, it's just like, oh god, and immediately the face goes from like completely fine to full on the body fills with red and flushed. And Jamie gets the video and then heads back for round 2, and I can see the camera shot just being like the slow zoom out as we got that round super close up and got to see every move, and then this one just being airborne and like, yeah, they're playing volleyball for a while.
Yes, 100.
Mm-hmm.
Just after a complete trouncing, some slightly more well favored, but I think they very much at this time understand how much they underestimated you. Even they weren't really like, it was only 3v2. It's not like Stoney was like, I can take them on by myself. But very much so, these adults are struggling against 3 of you to keep up.
And there are comic panels of us like high-fiving, getting excited, and doing group huddles to coordinate as a team, getting more and more into it. Love it.
And as the final round comes to an end, there's like maybe 100 people, like various people just like watching and like recording and like oohing and eyeing this.
I think that at first Jamie like is so in the game that like they saw some of the kids, but they didn't notice how many people had come to surround. And the moment that happens, just freezes, leans over to like Sam and goes, what do we do?
Do about what?
There are so many people.
Sam remembers having like 150 cameras pointed at him and people bombarding him with questions after they collapsed the entire museum on top of their heads. Oh, this is nothing.
Okay, yeah,
Ethan,
this is nothing, sure.
Stone Lady will kind of walk over. Hey, so this isn't a part of it you have to interact with, but this is the other part I don't think you all have been able to experience, which is people like us sometimes. If you go over and shake some hands, answer some questions, they'd really appreciate it.
I'm not used to the people liking us thing. Where I'm from, I got arrested for it. Like that's okay?
From has like a really like serious face and like will like reach to like put a hand on your shoulder, not wanting to like do so without consent.
I'm sorry, I must have missed something. I was reading.
No, is Stonely like to Jamie in response to that? Like we're reaching out to like put a hand on your shoulder, just to make sure it's okay. Doesn't want to like, without. It's like it's different here, and while those people will always be out there, we will never let one of our own, be alone against.
Thanks.
Of course.
Okay. And there's a comic panel that zooms in a little, and like Jamie's actually a little bit misty-eyed because like that's not all the treatment they're used to where they're from. And finally, like with Stone Lady at their side, I think they finally go up and like say hi to some people and are just kind of trying to go with the flow and aren't sure quite what to do, but they're saying hi. You're like watching the game.
I'm not like you are being bombarded with like compliments and like excited kids and questions and like, are you a shapeshifter? Did you teleport? What are you like just inane amount of like praise and affirmation. The other two of you, are you going
Ethan
up with
is
Jamie?
Ethan is 100% hiding because last he heard, we are supposed to keep our powers under wraps. So he didn't realize there were so many people there, and he's like, "Oh shit!" and just ran off to like hide somewhere. And he's like, because he's like, well, Sam doesn't have to worry about it because Sam is Gigaflop. There's no hiding for him. And Jamie can be like 50,000 people, so it's okay. You just be like, "Oh, that was someone else who kind of looked like me. I'm stuck as me," so I just ran off.
Yeah. Barring Rain will like walk up like, hey, you good?
Yeah. I didn't realize there were so many people here, and we were told from the school to like keep our powers under wraps. And I'm the only one that either isn't blatantly gifted with powers or can change themselves into other people. So yeah, I don't want to.
We've been playing volleyball at this beach for years. Do you think this is just like a beach? And we'll like click a thing, and there you can see there's some kind of like almost like screen or translucent thing. None of those videos, none of those people will like be able to identify you from this game. This is not our first time playing volleyball. It's okay, kid. It's okay.
Oh, okay. Oh,
So, do you have a mask?
I thought my internet cut out.
Do you have a mask?
Yeah. And he's going to he's gonna pull out like a little I guess because he wouldn't have his like superhero stuff on, he would just pull out. I guess he just pull out like a little bandana and just put it around.
Yeah. I mean, again, not our first time. You can go and say hi. People would be really excited to meet you, and you know, I think it'd be good.
Just gonna look up at him, smile, and go, "Thanks." I not just for that, but like the game today and everything. It was a very welcome change of pace from everything.
Yeah.
And I think
And
we really needed that.
we'll just get the like classic like Bumrang like holding the hand out to help you stand back up.
Yeah,
Giving
he
you a
will
big
take it and stand up.
Hey, it's okay.
So should I change my voice, like citizens, or
Honestly,
like,
honestly,
yeah,
you have no idea how important that part of your face can actually be. Just be yourself.
okay, all right,
And I mean, it helps that we have a very extensive back end of technology, making sure that people who are trying to match anything that is taken here to anybody who actually exists on the internet don't find things. So that's maybe the more important part. I should have prefaced with that's something that we have been very aware of.
okay. I guess let me go and meet people. Uh, and he's gonna start walking off and like stop, look back at Boomerang, and
Just like gives you like a
like
little
give him a thumbs up. Yeah, and then just keep going. Go to join Jamie. And I'm sorry, did you say Sam went up there too, or?
Sam has not said yet.
Oh, okay. So yeah, so then go towards Jamie then. I just didn't want to be like go stands next to Jamie and ignore Sam, because then that'd be more on the doom track that he's trying to fill because he is an evil person. No.
That's the question though. Is Gigaflop going up?
So one of my doom sign moves is dark vision. I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
No.
I think sure. I don't believe that Gigaflop would get anything out of it just for who he is as a person. But this is supposed to be a bonding day for the three of them, and if they're doing something, he's going to do it as well. So he kind of like looks down at his little feet, and then through the sand.
Well, it's interesting you would say that because I was already going to ask you to roll to reject influence from this crowd because you get a lot of people like, whoa, like saying you're so interesting, and like people don't seem scared. They seem like interested and like this is so cool. Like, can we tell us more about yourself? Like, if you know that I feel like might have an impact on Gigaflop. But all three of you can roll to reject influence, or you're gonna get some label shifts from this crowd of fans. Just full stop. They're fans.
Jamie fully accepts the influence, and like I said, this is actually like a really weirdly emotional moment for Jamie because in their world there was nothing but persecution for being what they are. And even getting here, the rule at school was you must stay hidden at all times. You can't talk about it. You shouldn't make it public. And for the first time, I think, in their life, outside of just their little group, they're being celebrated for it. So they accept that influence and they're really misty-eyed the whole time. Start like opening up and like talking and hanging out with people. Yes, I see that Elsa gif and it is accurate. But yeah, that's it, happily accept that influence.
Incredible.
Mhm.
Ethan, Sam.
I will reject it because I'm
Well,
not
you'll
giving out
try.
all my. Yeah, I will
But
try to
will
reject it.
reject
you are
and
also at a
succeed.
-2 because you're insecure.
Ah,
Rip. Rip.
well,
Too bad that's your favorite condition to mark.
yeah. All right. So I just rolled 2d6 plus what?
-2. 2d6 plus -2.
Plus a -2. Yes. No, so I don't add anything to it.
Rejecting influence unless you're a couple of different playbook. I almost said skills.
Okay.
It's just a good old fashioned 2d6.
Okay. Well, that's gonna end fantastically. That's a 5.
That's what I thought. And before we resolve what that means, Sam, are you gonna
I rolled an 8.
roll it? Okay.
Yep.
So for you, Sam, on a hit, you successfully hold yourself and tune them out. So you can choose to clear a condition or mark potential by immediately acting to prove them wrong, or you can shift a label up, one up and one down, or yeah, I guess you could like cancel this crowd's influence and take +1 forward against them if you wanted.
I desperately need what it is, viewers at home, is we're on a race to see which comes first. Me changing playbooks or retiring from the city, or my doom. So I need those potentials, and I don't roll low for some reason. So I need the potential. So how can I act to prove them wrong? You're saying that these are a lot of fans and things like that. So I'm imagining that it would be kind of shutting down their adulation or them asking a lot of questions, like elevating me, because Dark King has always said that the best way to handle this sort of thing is to be yourself and keep them at a distance. That's kind of what we went through in the second time we talked after all the cameras and stuff, right? He was saying just be a hero, it doesn't matter what anybody else thinks. So these people are like, oh, blah, 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 it's so cool, use your powers, do this cool stuff. No, I'm fine. No, thank you. No, I can't divulge that information now. You should ask that to Ethan. Like, just constantly turning them away.
All right. And then, so I'm gonna say, so you tell me, but for failing to reject influence, I'm gonna shift your labels anyway, and you are gonna mark a condition. These. So whatever you think would make sense for that. So both of you who are now taking the influence, whether you like it or not. So you're gonna mark Savior and Superior up 1 both, and Danger and Freak down 1 both.
Oh wow. Okay. Savior and Superior up 1. Okay. Hey, that gets my Superior out of the negatives.
Oh, look at
And you said Danger and Freak down?
Mm-hmm.
Well, my Danger can't go any lower. So
Condition.
that's another condition then.
Blocked or because it's at -2?
No, because it's at -2.
Oh yeah, marking. Hey, 3 conditions, but
there we go. That's that sweet spot I like to cruise in.
Hey, trying to resist influence doesn't always go well.
I was trying to I was feeling a little odd, not in my native area.
Yeah, I think this actually makes a decent amount of sense of like, maybe I think like guilty makes the most sense for the condition for failing to reject. It's like there's such a thing as like too much positivity, and like the phrase that is completely escaping me right now of like, no, I don't like, this is not right about me, this is not
Imposter syndrome.
There we go. Just like imposter syndrome. Feel like that might be it's obviously
that's also where I live. Well, Bees lives.
It's like after like a little bit of time, like seeing give up and then being a little overwhelmed, you see like someone like, thank you all so much, we had a great time playing. It's always good to in between the important stuff we're people too, so it's always good to get a bit of stress out. But we're gonna head off. Always more to do, but stay in school, don't do drugs, unless you're an adult, I guess. I mean, well, no, sorry. All right, bye. And we'll kind of like shepherd you all away to extricate you from that social situation.
All righty.
Well,
He's just gonna go.
I'm really glad you all could come. I don't know what you all are doing for the rest of the day. I wanted to make sure you can have it to do whatever. If you need us, you can reach us. But city
Or-
never sleeps.
I mean, we do have some other business that we definitely need to take care of, but rematch someday. I would love to play with y'all again. That was really fun.
Stop us. You can't stop it from happening.
Deal. And then Jamie looks up at Stone Lady and just has the glistening, oh my god, gay panic eyes, and then walks away. Yeah.
Because like you get like the full like respect look.
Yep, it's getting that look from Stone Lady that just makes Jamie melt and go. It's like having someone you really admire also be like, I think you're just as cool as you think I am. Be like, oh my god, Stone Lady thinks I'm cool. So it's that moment.
100%.
Yeah. And then I mean, if the rest of the group is cool with it, do we want to regroup, change, and then head to the facility where we've got the key for do those interviews?
Sure.
Okay.
Of course, Kickerflop can't change. You're excluding him again. First it was breakfast, and now it's clothes? Where does it end?
Those of us who can't change should change. I'm sorry. I adore Sam, but there are some things that we have to do with our physical forms and bodies that I know Sam can't do.
Speaking of our physical forms of bodies, we're gonna now take our break here. Y'all can do grab some water, do any bio stuff you need to do, and we'll be back shortly for the as our beach episode winds down. We will hop right back into it and get to it. Thank you all so much. Transition! And hello, welcome back to the Unremarkables. I don't know why I decided to do that a little bit extra flair, but we did. We just had a fun little beach episode and montage, and had a great time. And because this game is this game, we now have to go and interrogate the government instead of anything else. So last we left off, so you all are going to the founder's facility. You see LaShawn Lilac, Leah's cousin, who's like seems to be the closest of age to Leah, at least in the older cousin department, and a couple other folks kind of working and just keeping an eye on everything. And where you left them is the agent. This would be Agent Edda, the individual who can trap people in crystal that also kind of, is not fully crystalline. It's almost a little bit in between states of matter. What do y'all want to do? LaShawn kind of like motions like you don't even have to present the badge. I'm sure you do because y'all don't know the procedure, but nobody looks twice.
Leah's dad said that it would probably be good for us to come and
Yeah, you
question
got the
some.
badge. You're good.
Yeah. Well, we're supposed to question some folks. What
Well,
floor would they be on? Do you know?
yeah, you can question whoever. I mean, if you're talking about people that were involved the other night, then yeah,
Yeah.
I can lead you to
That,
that
that
basement.
that's exactly what I mean. Yeah.
Yeah, you got it.
Thank you.
So just so you know, right now they're in not just physical restraints, but some amount of well, I don't really get it. I'm not the tech guy, but the way it was explained to me is basically a bit of remote, kind of like a little bit of like non-drug drowsiness. Because obviously, it's not a great idea to let individuals who can, you know, do everything they can do be fully awake. But what we'll be doing here is kind of upping the physical restraints and lowering the mental ones, so you can hopefully have a decent conversation. So they'll be pretty tied down when you get up to them. But if you think anything's going screwy, and I'll be watching, just if you want to give it some kind of signal or something, then we'll re up the drowsiness, so to speak.
Okay. And I'm gonna time out here super fast.
Yeah.
So, Leah's dad had said that these are people that probably would be really good for us to question. Do we think that these are people who were like culprits responsible for what happened at the founders facility, or are these people who were impacted at the
So
founders facility?
this is Agent Ada. This is
Yeah.
the so the agents, as a reminder, are like enigmatic, like almost think of a Men in Black. Like they don't exist. They are like unknown entities that work for the founders directly. And this is the person who like trapped Stone Lady and Bomberang and Beetle, or not Beetle, like trapped all those people, and then went and fought people downstairs. So that's who we're talking about right now.
Okay.
The
So
hard part is the question that we don't have answered yet is why were they collecting the supers, right? We've been on the lookout for Kinesis. We know that Kinesis is connected to Jennifer, his sister, and Jennifer is the mom of the AV kid that we met 100 million years ago.
Literally.
But yeah, it's hard. We don't know the connection between these people who absconded with supers and Mr. Hyde, right? We don't know where Echo. We don't know who's running Echo right now for sure. We have guesses.
Yeah.
So there's plenty of questions, but do we as a group, the three of us, have a question that we want to have answered when we leave here?
I
I
think
think that would be something we would talk about before we go in and talk to anybody.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think it's good I think they're having this conversation, but it's also good for just us as players to have that
It's a lot
conversation.
shorter for us to have the conversation. with
Yeah,
our characters.
yeah. No, I think that one of the biggest questions that we genuinely do need to get answered is like, where is your main base of operations? And why the fuck are you doing this? What is the end goal? Those are two of, I think, the biggest questions that will allow a lot of other things to become actionable really quickly. If we know what that end goal is and how they're making these things happen, then that gives us at least a route where we can try and stop it, especially if we get some kind of timeline out of that. And if we know their main facility of operations, we know the place that we can go into, the place we can get blueprints, the place we can make a game plan to, whether it be pull a heist and steal equipment they have there, try and take down the operation from the inside. We don't know what the game plan should be because we don't know what they're actually doing. We only have pieces of the puzzle. That's kind of where my thought process is going, but if y'all have different thoughts, please let me know.
Also, see if there's like like the people that they had already trapped before we freed them, if there was some common denominator between them, like depending on what their goal is. If they won't tell us what their goal is, we can see, like, even afterwards, after we talk to them, we should look to see if there's something similar between all the people that were captured, to see if, we can piece together something, just in case this isn't fruitful.
Yeah, so there's like, this is basically, think of it as like, like almost like a secret headquarter, right? This is not like the headquarters of the founders, but this is a place with like tons of data and computers and staff. Would you want to, do we maybe want to resolve like trying to figure out some data first, so you maybe have, just in case you have information going into this interrogation, or do you want to like try and search on the data after?
I think going in with as much information is always important, because if they're like, I'm not going to tell you shit, you know nothing, then we can say, but we know this and we
Great.
know that. This is important information.
Totally.
Yeah.
Everyone, I'll just say, everyone, go ahead and give me an assess situation. So just plus superior.
Okay.
Ooh, I've been waiting for that.
Oh my God, go away.
I'm sorry.
Sorry,
Fine.
there are flies everywhere because it's summer
This is a good
and we're on a
stream. I'll
farm.
die.
No, I just,
Die.
sorry, if I'm swatting around or just freaking out, that's why, sorry.
It's okay.
So
No,
I have a move that I stole from somebody else when I finally leveled up one of those, like, 3 times I did this entire goddamn game. Be mindful of your surroundings when you assess the situation before entering into a fight. Oh, damn it. Never mind.
well,
Says you
what
may
if,
ask one additional question even on a miss.
I like the idea of this applying, because this is like almost a social encounter level of like, this is an important thing going on. So yeah, so give me what are our superior totals here?
Really quick, yeah, so I got an 8 total, and I'd also like to apply 21st century studies to this. So when you assess the situation, you may also ask, what does the future know about this moment, even on a miss, and I take +1 ongoing to act on the answers.
Great. So you got it.
I got a 7.
7, so that's 1 at question. JB?
I was tempted to do a move, but I'll roll. It's fine.
Okay.
I have a +1 ongoing to uncover Jennifer's location and the purposes of Echo. So would this apply to our researches?
Of course.
Okay, so an 11.
Okay. So we have 2 questions from Bees, 1 from your roll, 1 from your move. 2 questions from Umbra, 1 from your roll, 1 from your move, but that one's obviously more specific. And then 2 from you in total for your success. So y'all can round robin and strategize as to what questions you want to ask me. And if it's not something that you'll be able to find out through the founder's facility data, I'll let you re-ask a different question.
So this is information we would have gotten while we were in the founder's facility. Yeah.
Correct. Yeah.
Okay,
So
great.
basically,
Just
like
wanna make sure.
LaShawn and like a couple other lilacs and like just people who work for the founders they're at your disposal. So if you start asking questions and asking for data and like looking through files and stuff.
Okay. I think one of the big questions that Bees brought up that would be really good to have going into this is a list of exactly who were targeted with that abduction and what commonalities they have just outside of having superpowers. So, like,
Yeah.
is it something of they are also upper middle class or much higher class, so like wealthier supers, or are these people who like were publicized as specifically fighting against certain rings of crime that might tie back to this organization? So trying to see other commonalities outside of just being superheroes.
Great. So you already you rescued all the people who were trapped. So but the second part is a great question. So
Yeah.
looking through, there's not a lot of commonality until you start to look at their recent activity reports from before they were abducted. Every single one of the people who were abducted, including Bomberang, because you were with them, were investigating Echo and this strange blue substance. All of them reported in their incident reports having some kind of contact with this blue substance and like to
Crystal
very
Pepsi, we know its title.
yeah, sure. Like, all of them reported like witnessing either like a robot or an Echo agent with this Crystal Pepsi and some kind of interaction with it.
Okay. Is there a way for us to pull their reports on this information? So like if they had locations of where this substance was being produced, if they had names of people who are connected to it. So I don't know if that would also go with this information that we just pulled.
I would say that would be a second question. You could ask basically what do the founders know about Crystal Pepsi and its like production. If that's something you want to ask, no problem.
I'll gladly use my second question for that since I get the other from my ability. Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, we got 4 questions after this. So, well, they actually know as far as the production, they know less than you because you specifically, Umbra, saw the main headquarters hub of the Crystal Pepsi operation. They are aware of the facility that you all discovered in all that time ago. The first time you encountered the what you now know to be that strange alien larva. They don't seem to know about the entity which is like in the middle of all of this. What they know is that essentially some entity has been trading Echo for this substance. So they believe that Echo has been assisting in hiding this individual because they've noted in all of these reports, they note that like it's been very difficult. Like none of these robots have anything helpful. Like they've clearly been very expertly like their memories have very expertly been crafted, and they're like a lot of like when this robot is destroyed, all of its memory gets wiped in a very specific way, or if it gets like hacked into without very specific passwords, it gets wiped in a very specific way. So it's been noted that clearly someone like an organization with a lot of resources has also been helping this entity. So they're pretty sure that it's a third party interacting with Echo to supply them with this Crystal Pepsi, and then they're using it to develop. They
We don't think it's just that first hub that we were in, like that single guy from the very beginning, right? Or do we think it's
reason to I mean, that's more up to y'all. They don't have any reason. They like this is not a substance that exists on Earth to people's knowledge, right? This is a completely new substance. So how it is made and who makes it is completely unknown to the founders.
Okay.
I mean, you all as a group have at least seen a hub of it. There could theoretically be more of these like larval creatures. There could be more like factories or foundries making the Crystal Pepsi, but at least you know of one place where it comes from. I will say that the scale of the operation that the founders have noted does match more with what you found as being the main, if not only, source of Crystal Pepsi.
okay. Okay, those are my questions that I wanted answered now. Okay, cool.
I mean, again, this is y'all are working as a team, so you can bounce questions between and figure it out. We have a group effort here.
I just keep cackling thinking about Batman punching the Joker. Where is your Crystal Pepsi? Where is your Crystal Pepsi?
God.
And it's so good. Oh boy. I have no thoughts, empty brain about all of this.
Um,
Yeah.
I did for one of my questions. I would like to check out any I guess the best way to put it is any real like I guess known accomplices or acquaintances or like organizations they have been linked to before.
Echo?
Yeah. Like just the main I guess we have the agent that's trapped now, and I guess anyone else that in the past reports that have been, because you said they've seen robots and they've seen other Echo members, the various superheroes. So I guess just any one of those people, like their whatever they've been linked to as well in the past.
Very good. So we have, I know there's a decent amount of proper nouns. So there's the founders, right? There's Echo, and then there's Crystal Pepsi Man, the Crystal Pepsi Slug.
As the clarification for the audience, the founders of the group that Leia's family works with and their friends, the good guys. Echo is the ones who have been taking supers to drain their powers and have been making these suits as a way to destabilize powers, one of which was put unwillingly, quote unquote willingly, but unwillingly onto Ethan, and the other that was on Kinesis. And then this other group that was the strange, creepy man that just wanted to keep injecting Fantasia with Crystal Pepsi. There we go.
The one wrinkle in that is a reminder that the agents, like Agent Eta and Epsilon and Theta, they work for the founders. They're supposed to be working for the founders.
And yet they might be, well, I'm thinking like they might be double agents or something of the kind. Yeah.
The wrinkle
Wait,
is there's kind of two levels of the founders, right? There's the level that you are interacting with right now, and then there's the actual founders, the people who like founded the city and run it, who aren't like open to the public, including the agents.
so damn it, I just had a question.
Well, here I can answer the first question. So one connection that has been noted is there is a like basically like because there's a lot of different supers out and about the city, and so there's like kind of like classifications and like categories that the founders use to sort people, like kinesis, the dualages, and a lot of people who have been who have like had like because there are a decent number of people who like Echo is trying to blackmail, and they went to the founders, and the founders sorted it, right? Because that's what you do when you're blackmailed. Sometimes is you don't just give in, you report and try and go into protection. So there is basically a class of super citizens that are people in the realm of kinesis whose abilities make it difficult to like live life either openly or just in general, right? Kinesis couldn't like open a door without slamming it across the building.
Yeah.
Like you see, like like Cyclops from X-Men, right? He
Yeah.
needed to wear a visor because otherwise, just laser his friends and family, right? That kind of like there's that class of citizens in the city who either need help like hiding themselves or like keeping their abilities in check just to make sure that everything is okay. Echo has been very clearly targeting that like group of supers. You can see that in the past couple of years, the founders have actually really stepped up the like obfuscation of that group of supers because of this trend. Like they noticed a little bit ago that basically Echo has been targeting these people, trying to before seemed like they were using any kind of technology that these people were relying on, or just outing them as blackmail to try and just mess with supers and tarnish their name and all of that thing that Echo seems to be trying to do. And now that Crystal Pepsi has happened, potentially they may be trying to also um, mess with those supers' powers. So that seems to be a link between like where Echo is interacting with the population of the city, and then the founders are able to note that.
So it looks like they're really targeting people with one, destructive powers, like really destructive powers, and two, people that have a very difficult, if not impossible, uh difficult or issue controlling said powers.
Hence why they also were going after Ethan. That instability.
Yeah.
Roasted. Ooh.
Yeah.
I
It's
Look,
okay.
in
I'm
the
gonna sit here and cry
powers.
about something else. It's
down to the
fine.
bone, I'm saying.
I
Damn.
wow. I'm
Take a
Wow.
team from the pool. Ooh.
well.
I can't think of a second question right now. Um,
Ooh,
hmm, come back to
can
me.
I pitch something if y'all
$2.
can't think of other questions? There were several other supers, now that we have the information from my questions, that had been investigating the Crystal Pepsi and Echo and different things like that. I'm wondering if any of them found a substance that would almost counteract some of the effects of Crystal Pepsi. So, not just it working its way out of your system, but if there's some kind of substance that they were figuring out could be used as some sort of antidote, something to mitigate or completely end the effect of Crystal Pepsi in the body altogether.
Yeah.
Like
So I will say, so they haven't found like an antidote, so per se. What they have found more so is that think of it as like you can almost burn out the effect of the. So basically, think of it as it's like suppressing and like messing with the powers. If you, the more you exert, the more potential it can have to like repress and mess with the powers, make it go wrong. But there is a basically they found like a limit where if you can overpower, depending on how much density of Crystal Pepsi you have, you can kind of overload it and kind of expel it all at once, make it inert by overwhelming it. Um, so they have not yet found an antidote though.
Okay. If this were fucking Wolf Among Us, there is something that pops up on the screen that just says Jamie will remember that because they have an idea that depending on how this goes.
the music just changed to be so grungy.
Uh-oh.
That's
Oh.
That's pretty much what Gigaflop did to get the Crystal Pepsi out of
Hmm?
Leah's mom, I think.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Which is why he's trying to figure out their power complex so that he can do it without risking anybody's injury.
Mm-hmm.
I can only imagine that there would be a few places in the city that could house the type of technology that they would be using for the suits, for monitoring supers, for like keeping prisoners. I mean, when I went through the power grid last time, I found 3 or 4 locations that were suitable, and then with everyone else's assistance, we narrowed it down to 1 building.
Mm-hmm.
So I guess my question would be, what are a couple addresses? I obviously don't need the literal address.
Sure.
But can I locate a couple of addresses that may fit those purposes so that we can threaten them with the location of their potential base and gauge if we guessed
Ooh.
correctly?
Yes.
Okay.
What I
I
would
love
say,
that.
what I will say is that the founders have like locations of probable hideouts. They are almost like 100% certain that like headquarters is like offshore. Like they surmise this might be like a converted like oil rig or like something like offshore underwater or something that's off the city's power grid and surveillance system because you know they built this city, so it'd be very difficult to hide exactly like a full headquarters in the city. So that's also one limitation that they know Echo has, is that like it would be very is that like while they do have a lot of like like routes out everywhere, their main bulk of forces can't always be in the city. They are limited in that respect, but they do have multiple hideout locations. They suspect, and we have one more.
Thoughts? I got one more question. What do we think? What do we want? Because if I'm imagining the puzzle here, I see that we have 3 solid blue pieces and a blue piece with some white on one corner, and I really need a corner piece. I got to get started somewhere.
No, absolutely.
have an
I'm
idea.
trying, yeah, Beast, go for it. I was trying to think of a good question.
Tell me how you think about this one. Okay. Cross-reference everything Crystal Pepsi does to any professors or any kind of scientific publications that deal with that same controlling, suppressing powers, and see if any of those match up to, see if any of those people that have written those papers in the past or had anything to do with those publications have been involved in any kind of, I guess, superhero mishaps or any kind of shady work.
See, I was thinking that that would be tracking down like the scientists and stuff is a good avenue. And our other avenue, and this is the coin toss, right? Which one we want to do. The other avenue is if we could find any more missing supers. People that maybe been missing for longer that we don't know about. Because the founders would have
some cold
tabs on
files.
everybody. So our one avenue brings us to scientists that may be working for Echo, and the other is victims of Echo. So which would you like? It's almost like a set your asses up to pick between the two.
If I may, I actually so if we play our cards right in the interrogation, we might be able to get them to let a name of someone who's gone missing slip. Get them really riled up. Get them to the point where they say, "Oh, you're never gonna find X person." That gives us a name of one of those cold cases, but I don't think that they would as easily, especially if riled up, just give away the name of one of their head scientists or someone who has worked with them on that level. Whereas if they're like so certain that no one's ever going to find this person, I feel like that's something we can just like poke and prod enough that they'll let that information slip if they think that it's so guaranteed that no one's going to give a shit or be able to actually solve it. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah, it makes sense.
Yeah.
But I thought the exact opposite.
Interesting. No, hit me with that. Hit me with that. Yeah.
My thing is like they say the doctor's fucking name every day. They don't say, "Yeah, we have Grungranator and cold storage." Haha, fucker.
That name.
They may be like, "You'll never find Dr. Petrulimo," or whatever the fuck. But anyway. Okay. So we're going to cross-reference, and I am specifically going to look for scientists that have that are put in a similar position, because if they targeted Mr. Hyde, they'll probably target other people in that kind of compromised situation, especially since they're turning towards blackmail, things like that. We're going to look for advanced sciences, for biochemical and advanced technology, scientists that have had huge falling out with the community, have gone missing, or have been put in prison for something past 10 years. I can't imagine they've been around longer than that, and this is all that we've seen them do. 10 years seems like they'd probably have bigger roots than they have.
Yeah.
So we'll go back 10 years and look for scientists that have been compromised in that position and see if any of them kind of fit the role of what we're looking for.
So hey, thanks for the raid!
Hey! Oh my goodness, thank you so much. We are in the middle of, we've got the full like conspiracy board moments coming up here,
this
friends.
Is water. Raiders, this is water.
Wink,
it actually is. There's no winking. It's actually water.
Right. Wink. So I will say that Mr. Hyde's name almost certainly comes up here in the kind of database as someone of potential in those kind of coordinates. Um, Also, I'm gonna go back real quick because I feel like my answer for the antidote was a little lame. I will say my one last little bit of information is that um, the none of the agents who have had any in contact or reports of Echo or Crystal Pepsi have seemed to have any deleterious effects. They seem totally fine. Whether they just avoided it or know something, or maybe they just have like flushed it out is unknown. But they seem they none of them have reported any impact. None of the agents. Yes.
Mm.
Mm. Um, but so I will say that the Venn diagram y'all put out, it seems to be rather small. The research into superpowers is a bit of a polarized field in this world, obviously, because you have Sanctum City, where people love supers because they keep everyone safe and it's an accepting place, and so there are people who are trying to make supers' lives better. And then you have the rest of the world that's kind of signed a whole treaty about not letting supers do things like being super or otherwise. So the Venn diagram, like there are people outside of on that, but they also don't have access to super powered individuals, and they also are like they aren't like supported by the scientific community. It's not a like respected field. It's not a field people are like really raring to get into of like superhero suppression and all of that, because it's just it's not a topic you really want to like attach yourself to in the outside world of Sanctum City. It's kind of a little bit of career suicide to like, yeah, I'm looking into superheroes and superpowers, because that could very quickly be like, oh, so you're secretly like a supporter of them, right? Or you're working with them. So I will say though that looking through some of the data, there appears to be one individual who kind of matches the bill of someone who started not in the realm of super individuals. They were actually just looking at like actually pretty like looking at the like allele sequence, just pretty basic stuff. And then it looks like through their process, because of how their donations worked, some like superpowered individuals like DNA got brought in the mix, and they basically spiraled. They like their research spiraled into looking at like DNA sequences of superpowered individuals, trying to find like changes and consistencies, and was fully written out of the scientific community and had to eventually kind of just dip. Like publicly made a statement of, I'm done. This is it. I'm gonna go retire and just live out my life. But the founders, while they don't have tabs on this person where they are right now, they believe that they moved to Sanctum City because they wouldn't be super safe anywhere else. And that person's name is Edmund Edwards.
Do I
Come
see
again?
this information?
Is anyone trying to hide it from them? I'm guessing not.
I read aloud anytime I read, so.
There you go.
Yeah.
I think the moment that Edwards comes up, there's the record scratch, and Jamie says, run that name by me again?
Edmund Edwards?
And looks to Ethan.
All the color is gone from his face, and he is just staring at, like he was following with Sam, and as soon as that happens, he just, like, you see he's staring at the ground, and just like he is catatonic at this point.
Jamie goes up to him, puts a hand on his shoulder, and just says, "We'll find him and get to the bottom of this. I promise." And I'd like to roll comfort or support.
Do it.
Amazing.
Mundane.
Yeah. That's a... Oh no. That's a 7 minus 1, which is a 6.
Well,
Plus
there
a 1
is
because you have influence over evil.
Oh, true! Aha! Yes, plus a
think
1, so 7.
team.
Thank God.
Great. So on a 7 to 9, if I remember correctly, it's yeah. So on a hit, they hear you. So you can be mark potential clear condition or shift labels if they open up to you, and that can be as great or as little as you want.
So I think because I think at first when you start talking, there's just no response, and as you're comforting me and you're going on, I think towards the end, you just you may not even see it, but there's just like you feel something hit your hand, and you look up and you see just a tear going down his face as he's still just staring at the ground. And I think, yeah, he's just gonna, I, I don't know how to feel. I, it's, it's because of me. This, oh God, everything that's happened to Leia's parents, family, all the supers in the city,
You didn't
it's because
cause
of
that.
me.
Hey, look at me. You didn't cause that. You aren't the twisted fucker who may have started all this to begin with. Okay? You're
But
someone
it's
who's gonna fight and
because
try to
of
stop it.
me. Why do you think he got into this field to begin with? Because he had a child who was a freak.
Who was amazing and he couldn't
And
accept.
abandoned him.
Please don't give any credence to that fucked up line of thinking. You are so much better than that. Just because he couldn't accept you for the amazing person that you are, because of one thing he couldn't understand and accept, that makes him the bad guy, not you. Okay?
Just gonna nod and not say anything else. Still, like he looked at you while talking, but then after you finished talking, his eyes just focused back on the ground, and he's not really responding much at all. He nodded, but that's it.
We need to come back later. We can give you time to cool off and come do this.
No,
When we have Leah back.
I'm fine. No, time is
sure?
of the essence. We already spent the whole day dicking around.
We spent half a day
Let's
and
do
we
this.
don't even have the full team back. Hey, I wouldn't say it if I didn't think that it'd be okay otherwise. We can always come back. They will still be in custody.
I'll be fine. I'll be fine. I needed a moment. It caught me off guard. And I'm fine now. Let's get this taken care of. And get this information.
Can I pierce the mask, please?
Roll it.
I want to call his bullshit.
Roll
Because
plus mundane.
I feel like that's bullshit. That's another 7.
You can ask one pointed question. The list of was like how could I get your character to, or what do you intend to do? What do you want me to do?
Yeah.
But we've been playing a little loosey goose with like the direct list of questions, which I feel like is a little more conducive sometimes to the game.
You can potentially juice that to a 10 if you need to.
That's true.
Just saying.
How?
Because you have a 7, you have +1 because you have influence over Ethan. You
Yeah.
can burn your influence to give yourself another +1 and spend a team from the pool to up your superior.
Or mundane.
Or your
But
mundane, sorry. Up
Yeah,
your
you could-
mundane.
you could
And then
technically do
boom,
that.
you have a 10, ask 3, and then you get to do everything. That's why I never keep influence over anybody. I burn them all the time. I'd be like, I roll a 4. That's an 11.
I honestly, I think the pointed question is
And this is an out of character pointed question, to be clear.
yeah. Yeah.
No worries. Also for the audience who may be learning maths with us.
And me. Because I still don't know shit.
You're doing great.
Is Ethan really okay right now, or is
Not
he
even
going
remotely.
to melt down in there?
Will
Like
he melt
it's a
down?
there have been multiple times where he gets information like this and either freezes and it shuts down or he runs. I know he's not okay right now, but is this a situation where he is going to he's going into fight or flight?
Great question.
Depending on the way the questioning goes, if it's something where he either finds out that Edmund is close or something like that, it could possibly trigger him to like go and find him and try and put a stop to this so no one else gets hurt. But he's not gonna just like, bad cop rock up and vibrate this dude's head until it explodes, or just gonna be like, I can't deal, and just run off and never be seen kind of thing. He's working a lot to not have that happen anymore. Being trapped under rubble helps you think and prioritize. So it's not the usual
Wavering. We're not
yeah.
like broken, we're wavering.
He may get a little aggressive during the questioning depending on how it goes, but it's not going to be like the last time when he was about to kill somebody and Leia had to step in and stop him.
Okay.
But yeah, he's definitely not okay at all. Like
Or
the
late
like
that same day when it happened again.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah. And that's why
Like
I asked this particular question. Yeah.
Jamie's hand is on his shoulder and Jamie can feel the vibrating. Like it's
like
like the power, yeah, it's kind of like a hum.
running-
The power is just kind of building.
In character. If we find out a lot more about Edmund in there and he ends up actually being linked to this, I need you to keep it together. And I know that's gonna suck. Trust me. I know how much revenge or wanting answers might get in your head, but if we want to do this, if we want to really take down these people, going immediately to him, then potentially changing a bunch of locations on us, shifting things around will put us back at square one. So no matter what we find out in there, I need you to keep your cool and come back home with us after. Because if you can't, I love you, but we gotta go back home now. We can come back later. And I know that's probably not what you want to hear right now. But we have so much and we are so close. And I promise you we will make sure that he gets the crap that he deserves. But you can't go off on your own. We can't do it immediately unless it's what actually makes sense for the mission as a whole. Okay? I'm not saying this to you as kiddo. I'm saying this to you as your team lead.
He's
So-
going to look up and look you in the eyes with the deadest expression you've ever seen. Just completely void of emotion, life, anything. And is just gonna say, understood. Roger that.
And I'm gonna look to Sam as a, you think we should go home? Because this isn't reading great to me.
Sam goes, well, if you're sure, and stands up, goes to go interrogate the people.
Great.
As
Well,
long as you're sure.
Sounds good to me.
We just get this like or like just
It's not in Sam to really doubt Ethan. Ethan
Yeah.
knows Ethan better than Sam does. Shit.
just
no,
love-
there have been so many instances of I'll be fine. Loses it through the campaign. I'm real.
Always stopped him. It's fine.
I just also love like we get the panel of like the look that Umbra gives to Gigaflop, like just so much like needing reassurance, like what is the right call here? I'm worried about our friend, and just the immediate, well, great, let's go.
All right, since you're
Like,
sure.
the
He's
whip hand.
tapping the papers so that they line up, collating them. Well, as long as you're sure, puts them under his arm.
All right. I guess we're going into this thing.
Great.
What are you so worried about?
And when Ethan gets a little ahead of them, Jamie just shakes her head and goes, him. I'm worried that he's going to find out something about his dad in there he doesn't like and go running to find him. That's what I tried to do when I found out what my parents had done, and we've come so far. We are so close to catching these people. I don't want to lose everything we've already gained.
Gigaflop narrows his eyes. The LEDs shrink down. And he says, you know, you think of that as some kind of obstacle. But really, I think it's made you a better hero. Learning the truth always does. Living a lie never helps anyone. But the fact that you can fight so valiantly for it, all those emotions, I really envy that. He's going to use Wish I Could Be. When you comfort or support someone,
I heard it.
tell
I
them-
heard it.
it's not a Doom track.
Yeah,
You
this
don't
was
need to
a-
relax.
Okay.
God
It's a
damn.
good one.
I know. No, it was more of a I know what move JP is using.
Oh no,
Wish I could
100%. I
be.
thought
Yeah.
it was Doom
Everyone
Track.
at
Not gonna
home.
lie.
When you comfort or support someone, if you tell them what you most envy about them, you can roll freak instead of mundane. So it's a
Hit-
7 plus 1 is 8. And I think I'm just going to rest there. I'm not going to give it any more juice. So
Right.
yeah. I think
So-
it made you a better hero. If you open up, you can clear a condition or mark potential,
Or shift label.
or shift your labels.
My My passion is what's always guided me, but we are so close to the end. We have to keep our heads on straight. We can't just be blowing through buildings again. Or what happens if he runs in there with his dad and he reports back? And suddenly all their locations have shifted, all their contacts have shifted, and we're back to square one.
Then we'll get back here again. Right? He pokes you with a giant, squishy finger. We've got time. He pokes you harder. Almost knocks you over. You really need to relax. You're like pretty young to have so much stress. It's very bad for your capillaries and your brain chemistry. Coming, Ethan.
Jamie shakes her head a little and then follows after.
So you step into a room. So as you might remember, there was like basically like a weird, almost like salt circle device where this person is basically waist up. You can only see their waist up. They are like embedded into the floor with a like salt circle of what was explained as kind of like anti-psychic material, and their arms are like Syndrome's device from the Incredibles, like held aloft with like large metallic devices that are like held up with like electromagnetism, and just kind of like very like wide eyes. So as you get a good look, they're normally these agents are like, you know, dressed very Men in Black, right? Pretty like stereotypical like mysterious agent. These individuals pale, and there's like a bit of almost an uncanny valley esqueness to them. Their like facial structure and just like way about them is just like just that touch off. They're not they look like a very skilled but not quite fully informed person's facial structure who like could draw but like hasn't seen enough humans to draw one that fits in. Shut up, you make incredible drawings. Voice in my head who nobody else can hear. And they just kind of like wide-eyed, unblinking regard the three of you as you step in.
I think Ethan's gonna walk to the edge of the salt circle and just stand there staring at him.
It just meets your gaze.
Yeah, he's not gonna say anything. He's just gonna keep staring at it.
Yeah, you lose this blinking contest, but
Oh yeah.
Hello.
hello. None of you are. Yes. Good. Carry
None
on.
of us are what?
Infected.
With?
Contaminant.
What sort of contaminant are you
I was
speaking
gonna
of?
fucking lose it if you said Crystal Pepsi. I was gonna die.
Mhm.
I nearly blacked out just thinking about it myself. Sorry.
The,
Do you know
the
the name of this contaminant?
it kind of like doesn't look like relevant. Like I don't understand the relevance of the name of the contaminant. It's you are uncontaminated. Congratulations.
We'd like to ask you a few questions, if you could so graciously oblige us.
I don't. You may. I have no way, ability, nor motivation to stop you from asking me questions.
You and several of your other agents invaded the Lilac household to take a few of them elsewhere. Why was that?
they were contaminated.
And who gave you that specific order? Is that something you regularly scan for?
Correct.
Which one? There were two parts to that question.
The second.
So you scan for these contaminants, whatever they may be, and apprehend those people?
Quarantine, yes.
And what is the purpose of that quarantine?
To halt progression of any further contamination. Of course.
Does your facility or the place you take them halt that contamination in any way versus them just being in their home and their safety?
No, that is my purpose. I am the stasis.
The stasis?
Yes. Out of character, as a reminder, this is the agent which put the people who had crystal Pepsi in like the crystalline structures. Correct.
I was not there that particular day, which is
fair.
why I'm
That's
confused.
fair. So yes, out of character. So each agent has one specific power. You've met one who can teleport around. That's the one that Gigaflop interacted with. There's another one who you've only really spoken to, so you don't really know what they do. And then this one is the one who creates the like kind of I think I described as like golden yellowish crystalline structures that trapped all the supers who you now know had crystal Pepsi inside them.
So I'm trying to figure out, this is an out of character thing. Is the contaminant she's talking about specifically the Crystal Pepsi, or?
It would have to be. We don't know
Yeah.
anything else. Yeah.
So if I'm understanding this correctly, you're saying that your purpose is to hunt down just people within the founders who have been found to have this contaminant, or is it anyone found with this contaminant?
If any citizen is noted with contaminant, then they must be quarantined. Have you encountered any contaminated citizens?
Unfortunately, we have encountered a few. Yes.
Thank you for bringing this to my attention. If you could release me from my restraints, I will quarantine them immediately to prevent any further development.
No, we have some additional questions for you.
I see. I would be happy to answer any questions you may have after I've quarantined these citizens.
No, you're good where you are at this moment.
I disagree.
And why is that?
I am unable to complete my function. I
Will
must-
something happen if you are unable to complete that function?
Yes.
Which is?
The contaminant may reach stage 2.
Please enlighten us.
Well, once the contaminant has fully developed within an individual, it then is able to extricate itself and continue to further individuals. A stage 2 contaminant could potentially infect. Conservative estimates would put one stage 2 contaminant could potentially affect one city block within a day.
Looks to the others. So injecting supers and abducting them isn't the only goal here. It's for them to walk around with this thing in their system until it becomes transmittable. How is it transmitted? Just by air or by physical contact?
The stage 1 contaminant is inherently untransmittable unless, of course, you have unused stage 1 contaminant. It is when it progresses to stage 2 that it gains the ability to spread itself.
Now, you yourself were not created by another organization or work with another organization. You are loyal to the founders and this particular goal of ousting this contaminant. Is that correct?
I'm an agent working to keep this. Actually, here's how this would be. It would be my function is to keep this demence clear of contaminant.
Gigaflop says, quarantine ineffective. Treatment more effective. Treatment has been confirmed.
Treatment has been confirmed?
And Gigaflop will hold out a hand. He'll make a little LCD screen in his palm and show him extricating the contaminant from Leah's mother.
I must be extricated from this device so that I may transmit that data.
Impossible, given your current circumstances. But
I
perhaps we
disagree.
will
I
work
think
together.
it would be quite possible to extricate me from these bindings.
Oh, it is possible to free you. We won't.
Ah, I see the miscommunication.
Who do you
Instead,
yeah.
we may work together. Where would you like this information sent?
I'm currently disconnected from my fellow agents. I simply would be able to reconnect and transmit said data.
Sounds like
Gigaflop
it's
looks at you, Umbra,
yeah.
and says, "It seems there may be another party involved in this. The Venn diagram of the agents working for the founders may be overlapping with Echo's own roles in injecting people with the Crystal Pepsi." He does the air quotes.
You get the first look of like genuine confusion.
The Crystal Pepsi may be part of another scheme, and this person is actually trying to keep it from spreading. But I'm not sure why they would do that instead of curing the people that it has been infected with or stopping it at the source. Is the source location known to you?
Negative.
That is our current objective.
Is this something that you're currently searching for, or what has been your typical operation procedure? Just find quarantine and the others of you that you're connected to in this network that you have. How does that function? What is the process?
My function is quarantine, not searching.
Okay. So with the others, however many of you there are, some of them have the ability to search, or some of them have the operating procedure to search.
Agent Epsilon
What are the
is
other steps?
searching and retrieval agent.
Okay. So Agent Epsilon searches and obtains. You quarantine, and the final agent does what?
Subdual.
Thank God. I thought he was going to say neutralize. Ugh.
Liquefy.
And I turn to the other two and just say, something about this genuinely reads to me as them being. Do we know 100% that they are connected to these other organizations, or were they just made by higher levels of the founders?
It is my understanding from what this person has just told us that the founders are trying to hide a secret. It's the only way I can make sense of the current situation. Perhaps they are the ones responsible for the creation of the Crystal Pepsi. The Crystal Pepsi. He does the air quotes again. And are now trying to cover it up since it has fallen into the hands of Echo, for instance. Otherwise, they could easily dispatch of any agents putting it into the field in a matter of a few days. Quarantine. You do not quarantine when you are worried about the safety of the public health with such a small outbreak, especially when it's only agents that can do it. Instead, you would quarantine to keep a secret safe. That is my understanding, anyway, and my conclusion given the data I have.
Do you know if there is anything, and with this information, turns back the focus to this agent? Do you know if there is anything that can produce that contaminant within this or another founder's facility, or if it originated here and was taken?
Negative. Negative. Any
And why
any
is that?
creation of contaminant is currently the location of the production facility of the contaminant is unknown. If you happen to find said information, again, I would ask to be extricated so that that knowledge may be passed on.
And to further my point, I believe that these agents are still trapped here because they are part of whatever the secret is. Otherwise, we're literally standing in founder headquarters. They could be ordered to be released today. This person seems to have no malicious nature.
I don't
I've
think we're
already
going to get
grown quite fond of
information.
them. I believe that we're close and personal friends now.
And I don't think we're going to get any information from them about
Understood.
Echo and the rest of that web.
As a close
Are
and
you-
personal friend, would you consider releasing me from my bondage?
Of course. I will have a word on our extrication of this facility.
Terrific. This experience of friendship has been positive.
Mutually beneficial.
Agreed.
And like they're talking with such clipped little words.
A question for you, interrupting the clip of this friendship conversation. Do you know when your first operation date was?
I have been operating as long as the defense has.
As long as the what has?
The defense.
The depends. I'm not.
Demence.
Okay.
It's kind of
Don't
an
worry about
old timey word for like your land or
Cool. I totally wasn't Googling it to try
no,
and
you're
figure
good.
out what that word meant. I was unfamiliar with it.
Yeah,
Um,
like a lord, like a medieval lord's demesne was like their land surrounding their manor or something like that.
Okay. So since the creation of this city or earlier than that?
It's part of the founding of the defense, correct?
Okay. Yeah, it's existed here from the very beginning. I'm afraid that we won't necessarily be able to let you go, but thank you for the information you've given us in this moment. Are you
Then
familiar with the research of a particular Edmund Edwards?
I would love to access my data on said individual. However, I'm currently, as I said, disconnected from my network. If I were released,
Okay.
I would be happy to give you everything known.
Here's a juicy thought.
Yeah.
It's dangerous as fuck.
I like a juicy.
What if I interface with my new best friend and filter through to connect to whatever their database is? It would be an offer. Obviously, they wouldn't have to say yes, right? I'm not gonna fucking pry their brain open. That seems weird. But I can offer, even from their locked up position in a circle of salt in the ground, I can offer to try and reach whatever data they're trying to grab hold of or send whatever information they want. And that way, A, we know if they're trying to double cross us. B, they know we're not trying to double cross them. And C, they still get the information that we need. Like,
Yeah,
it's
honestly,
mutually beneficial, and the only risk is really to me, which I'm not worried about.
I feel like because this person is very clearly robotic in some way, like they are not a regular person. If you were to if you were to connect to that neural network, I think that's going to answer a lot of questions for us, and one of the biggest ones being exactly who that system reports to, which will tell us if they are truly loyal to this organization and just want to help, or if it is something a lot more nefarious. So I'm for the idea as long as you will be okay.
Yep,
I
100%.
mean, really, I'm circling the drain on Doom. It's fine. It's good.
It's fine.
Okay,
Yeah.
so if you two are on board, I'll turn to him and say, I could act as a relay. If you would like to access your information while you are still trapped in this salt prison.
Oh,
Perhaps then we can have a mutually beneficial exchange of information, and we can prove that we mean no malicious intent towards you or the founders.
And now that you're, best friends and everything, right?
A little pushy, but yes.
let's not force the issue. I believe these things are supposed to develop naturally.
Apologies. Now that you are friends.
I would like to naturally move our friendship to the stage where I trust you. Do you find that agreeable?
Agreeable.
Terrific. Then I would like to endeavor to relay through you to contact the network.
There's a panel where we transition from the bunch of communication panels that we've had on the left-hand side to a full page where the full page is bisected at like a 45-degree angle on the corner. The vast majority of the page is Gigaflop, giant kind of standing up, and then in the bottom corner is him stuck in the ground with just like the top of the shoulders and head poking out. And boop, soft little on top of their head. And I guess it would be power time, right?
Oh, yeah.
Power time.
Rip.
Now, here's my question. Is this something you want to roll for and have me curl the monkey's paw, or do you want to curl this monkey's paw and you mark a doom track and roll for it?
I already rolled, so it would seem disingenuous for me to try and
That's
spin
okay.
it some other way.
Sure.
And I happened to have rolled well at the very
Great!
least, which is a 14.
So,
So I'll reserve. I'll just
Yeah.
say I reserve Doom Track for if anything unexpected happens. Then I can burn it to use an adult move or do dark visions so that I can see more of the information.
So, my first question is, like, what are you doing? Are you simply trying to be a straight conduit between this agent and the other agents? Are you trying to make them or let them see like your memories or certain parts of your memories? What's your intention?
One of my favorite words I've used on this live stream is partition. I'll
Mhm.
partition off a part of my consciousness, my space inside this body of mine, and let them into it. They said that they wanted the information about me using energy to force out the Crystal Pepsi. Crystal Pepsi. So I'll give them that as a like welcome in gift. So I'm imagining like the actual panels happen in that black room that I was trapped in so many sessions ago, that mirror black floor. And just they're standing there and I'm standing there handing them a physical like data packet with that information in it. And then they can reach out through me and try to connect. I'm not trying to pry into their brain and I'm not letting them wander around in mine. I really just want to sieve the information that they're sending out and they're getting back, and that's it.
So, you go into that black room. In that black room, you are Gigaflop. An agent does not show up. You see, like, basically, like, just a speck appear. Like, one small, like, mote of light. And it's a strange experience because essentially you feel like you are interacting with an individual piece that is also that also has the full weight of a networked system of like maybe millions or billions of these individual pieces together. So you are like interacting with one bit of like a hive mind, let's say, but it is both an individual and the hive mind in one. Is the best way to describe it. So as you like extend the data, the individual and thus the hive mind consumes it and has processed it immediately. And you can see like it like kind of like almost like populates more of these individual motes to like uh then express like gratitude. It doesn't like make a person and say gratitude. It just like enough of these individual pieces come together that it can express something to you and it says gratitude. And then it reverts down just to one mode.
So I enjoy the idea that this is the panel in which we see Gigaflop in that room and then the moat, and we see that it's just a representation we're showing the reader. When we see the moat transitions to like ones and zeros, and then so does Gigaflop, and then the whole panel does, and then all of it does, and it's just a full page of fucking layered ones and zeros.
Mm-hmm.
And they have this whole exchange of information without any visualization or anything. But we get the dialogue boxes that show what Gigaflop is parsing from the information.
Yeah.
So yeah.
So are you it has come here thinking at least it's going to be relaying information to the network. So far you've presented information. So what do you do next?
I'm going to let it connect to the rest of its hive mind if I can relay that much information. I believe I can because we've already done so much in that terms. And when I do, all I'm going to do is run an observation subroutine that just scrubs all of that data and compares it to the moat when it joined in my body, right? So it's going to take that moat's data, compile it all, and then give it to me, basically what they're saying back and forth for this little instant that they connect. I don't want 100 million years in both directions. Just a little instant, because I don't want to destroy what little bit of trust I'm building with this one, especially since I know this one is the collective, right?
Yeah. So, what you learn. So the other agent that was saved from Ethan has been like laid out like like not awake or conscious or moving this whole time, right? Each agent, while they are made of the same stuff. So you basically figure out that because this one is broken off from the system and inoperable, while each agent is individual, made of individuals, that collective has been subdued, right? Because you're not 100% sure the nature of these agents, but they exist in a way that we do not. And so while we could function missing like a limb, for them that limb is also like part of their brain.
Yeah, it's not like cutting off a finger. It's like cutting off
like a lobe of your brain.
Layer of every part of you.
Yeah, that's a better way of even describing it. Exactly.
Instead of a butcher's cleaver, it's taking a vegetable peeler to all over you.
Exactly.
It's like, not cool.
Part of its soul is gone, almost. And so in that moment, the whole system like reignites. Like you get everything that has happened since the system went down in an instant. Swapped a like they run the numbers on like what should we do, what is happening, what is the possibility of like further contaminate, like all at once, as like all of this like pent up like missing soul just like slams together all at once, and it all happens like you interacting with the internet does. It's seamless, it's perfect, there's no need to like interpret or think about it. It just like is it's that like almost meld that you can't quite get, where when you're interacting with a computer, you're doing so as a computer, not as an individual as Gigaflop, right? These things are interacting on a machine level as an individual made up of smaller individuals.
Okay. So if they send the data and receive whatever data they need, we I'm imagining it's like stopping a stream of kittens from getting out of a box. Like you just have to kind of do it, right? Just have to sever the connection. Otherwise,
your
I'd
word.
be here all day,
Yeah.
and be like, sorry, little moat guy, but hope you got everything.
That I'm gonna need another roll for.
Sure. So that would be an 8
Okay.
on Unleash the Powers, which would mark a condition, or the GM will tell you how the effect is unstable or temporary. I think marking a condition is more apropos for what's happening, and I'll feel guilty for severing the connection because I can imagine what it's like, because I was literally there when I was encased in crystal. I know what it's like to be stuck in a prison where you're experiencing time differently from part of your body, an extension of you.
And briefly, we're gonna go outside of Gigaflop's mind. Gigaflop's just kind of standing there, finger on the agent. In an instant, two more agents teleport into the room, and like look worried and towards the other agent, and then they both like slump down unconscious. This is in 1 second. In a second, they're there, like moving towards the agent, and then they're unconscious.
It's 2 panels. Like
Yes.
the first panel, they appear and they're like freaked out. The next panel, they're unconscious on the ground.
Yes.
Man. So I was gonna say the moment they show up, Ethan just goes towards the closest one to kill it.
Yeah, like
But
it's so
then
fast.
they get shut down.
Like as your like fist is pulled back, they're already slumped down.
Yeah. So
Like,
he's just gonna like fist is pulled and then it just stops. Like
What a
he's gonna
novel
look
experience.
to Umbra and then look to Giga.
Well, going back into Gig's mind, because you cut off the connection. Are you saying you also want to cut off the partition, like disconnect from the agent now as well?
I think so, yeah. Because the way that I see it, it's better for everyone, like these two especially, if whatever information we share is heard by the two of us, or I'm sorry, by the three of us together. And doing it in my brain, it would be so long for me to explain everything,
Yeah.
and we would lose the thread of the human element of the conversation, right?
Yeah.
So I think I'll sever
Probably
all of
that
it.
level of trust. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, you like, because you can't like avoid it sending data to you before you cut it off. Like it is obviously, first of all, it's like, why did you do that? Like we can do so much more, but it's also like, wait, don't cut this off. Um, we can. There's still productive things to do even between the two of us. Correct?
uh, so we're talking about microseconds for processing, and
Oh, yeah.
Gigaflop will say, "Of course there is, but there's always more work to do. And I apologize, but we cannot do it all together. I must involve my team. It's the only way that I can prevent myself from slipping further into the part of me that is too much like you. I'm afraid if we keep this conversation going any longer, I may actually just no longer be, and then you will be stuck in the ground with no friend.
I do not understand.
You will.
This has been positive.
It has. And fruity, if it were to have a taste."
Agreed.
And Gigaflop will sever that whole connection and kind of pop back into the real world, about in time to see slump. It's like, oh, what a
You
novel
okay?
experience.
As you go to that other part of you that you spoke to like this is nothing that is forcing upon you, but you just get that feeling like, but wait, like maybe we can go just a little longer. Like this, like if we could do this, then we don't have to separate. Can be
And
this.
the physical representation of the kid, Sam, is so far out in the room now. So far out there, you barely even see him. But I'm just like,
This could be us.
but I say, I have 7 more Doom tracks to fill.
You and me, it could be us.
Shh, almost. Shh, almost.
Yeah, the knife slowly slipping into my chest. No, but I sever the connection. I have to. I told them that I would, and it's literally the only thing that I can do. But I will purposefully mark hopeless because it will affect unleashing my powers in future scenes. The idea that there is this omnipresent desire to slip towards the collective, towards the ethereal nature of data, and stop becoming myself and just become everything. And not doing it today. It's still such a hopeless feeling cause.
Couldn't have said it better myself. So, as you step out from the agent, this new voice, this new thought, this new concept, possibility, potential in your mind, and more information and more questions. I have to leave it off.
Lord.
We did it!
Thank you all so
Yeah.
much for joining us. We are going to get a fun little post-credits teaser
There we
for
go.
next episode, though.
Yes.
As we get like, meanwhile, at the Lilac Estate, we get like the exterior shot of the still mostly wrecked Lilac Manor. Still has a lot of broken windows. Still has some exterior damage. We get like a brief shot of the artifact that's been hidden away. Again, like this like perfect cube with all these very it's I'm just gonna I don't have I can do I'll use a Call of Cthulhu trick. It's organically geometrical. The markings and kind of bits and bobs around it, and we shift to the sanctuary and we see a cave with golden lights strung down. A cave that we maybe Fantasia almost got really wrecked with when she messed with it. But for the first time, we go inside it and we see Leah and her parents. And inside this little cavern, we see just a stone plinth with a cube recession with organically geometrical shapes, as if it's waiting for something. And that's where we'll end tonight's episode.
Oh my god.
So thank you all for joining
Oh my
us.
god.
I hope you had a great time. We had so much fun stuff happen tonight. Truly incredible. Speaking of truly incredible, none of this will happen without this wonderful cast. So let's find out where we can find you all in the meantime and support all the incredible work you're doing. We'll go reverse from our intro. So starting us off, the one and only Ruby Heart Gaming.
Okay. Hi everyone. How's it going? Again, I play Jamie or Umbra, and my name's Ruby. I am a actor, streamer, and speedrunner. My primary game that I speedrun is Shadow of the Colossus. I have several others that either I already know or I'm learning as we speak. But Shadow is especially my focus now because as of a few weeks ago, I found out that I was accepted to the biggest speedrun event in the world, Summer Games Done Quick, and I'm going to be the opening marathon run. I'm really, really excited about that. So if you want to check that out, that's going to be June 26th at noon EST. So please, please, please tune into the Games Done Quick channel. I'm so excited to be doing that run. And otherwise, you can find me on my channel. I do speedrun content as well as let's plays of games that I've never had the chance to play all the way through or just never have played at all. Right now, I'm playing through Pray for the Gods, which is frustrating as hell, but I want to finish it, and Final Fantasy VI, which is an incredible time. I'm having an amazing, amazing time with that. It's a real good game, and we may or may not be naming all the characters very silly names. So that's me. Check me out on Twitch and other places if you want to. And I'm happy to be part of this cast. Y'all are great.
If you want to, or if you just like good content, if you have good taste, then you will do yourself a favor. Speaking of good content, Big B's. Tell us about yourself.
Oh,
Where can we find you?
I'm Big B's. I am not doing much of anything right now. Life is fun that way, full of sunshine and rainbows. So you can catch me here Saturdays, and that's really it. Um, I may or may not go live. That's kind of just up in the air. I want to try and go live more, but whether life permits it. And I have a project that uh should be going live in probably 4 or 5 months. We'll see. But other than that, you can only catch me here. Well, that's
Which
it.
means you need to follow Big B's underscore everywhere so that when all of these incredible projects and live streams go up, you can catch them and be blessed by the wonderfulness that is the Big B's.
Oh yeah. On Twitter, it's big_bees, and everywhere else, biggest_bees.
Incredible. And last but never least, drop
Hi, everybody. I'm JB, better known as Drop the Die. You can find me every other Wednesday on a new live stream that I'm a part of on Twitch at The Venture Maidens. We're playing Urban Shadows, another Powered by the Apocalypse game. It's kind of a Blade meets True Blood sort of thing, set in the year 2050. We have a very, very great cast with Virginia, Nora Enigma, and several others run by my close personal friend Sage, and it is going to be a blast. I'm playing a very creepy immortal, and it'll be so fun. Also, 2022 is the year that I try to get out from under other people's projects, and so far, I have rule sets for a Downton Abbey inspired tabletop game, a Castlevania inspired tabletop game, a Rootin' Tootin' Western tabletop game,
Yeah.
a space rat kind of scavenger game that's going to be a hoot, and a horror game that I'm going to try and publish sometime this year. So currently working on 5 games with 5 different rule sets to try and publish sometime in the next year. So if that's the kind of stuff that you like, and getting kind of heavy into how I go about developing those, how I go about sourcing writers, artists, and things like that, it's a great time to join my Patreon. Patreon.com/dropthedie. Just $2 a month. You can be a droplet, is what I call my $2 tier.
Oh, that's so cute.
Droplets. You can become one of those, or you can join at the $3 tier and get like 240 one-page magic items and adventures for D&D 5e, because that's my home system. But I'm going to be trying to share as much as possible, including live streams, videos, interviews, and stuff like that, as I try to make these games. You're going to make them along with me, because I have never published one before myself. I've just published other people's stuff. So it'll be my first time kind of sourcing all of that stuff, finding artists to work with, and all of that. And this coming week, I should have turned in the book, unless a catastrophe happens, that I'm working on. And this coming week on Tuesday, I'll be giving the sneak peek for one of the covers for one of the books I'm going to be doing for myself. And it is called Salvage. You go across space and collect trash with your friends. And every session is on a 3-hour timer. At 3 hours, catastrophe strikes. So you need to get in, get what you can, and get out in the time that you have.
incredible. Truly wonderful people. All of these folks. If you're still yearning for more good content, you should follow the wonderful producer here today, La Evenstar, who makes wonderful art that isn't uncanny valley, is in fact extremely attractive every time. If you don't believe me, follow them. Take a look. If
Maybe
you
able to bully Ty into giving us a really buff She-Hulk to satisfy our cravings for a buff She-Hulk.
Giant woman?
mean-
Giant women? What?
Oh, uh, and of course, if you want more stuff from us, you can follow us on Twitter. We have a YouTube where all of our VODs get uploaded, and of course, you can join our Discord where I and a lot of wonderful other folks are. We will be on an off week next week. This game is a little weird, so it may go up, may not, depending on scheduling. But you can always find Wraith, our Aether Steamos game that I'm a very proud player in, every Thursday, other than next week, which is our off week, and our other game, Delinquents, on Fridays. All both run by, again, said La Evenstar. But otherwise, did we have anything else?
Yes. I just remembered. Sorry, I'll make it quick. I just remembered that I was officially accepted to be a panelist at Multiverse Con in Atlanta in October. So there's that. But that's it.
Woo! Truly, again, incredible stuff. All these three, follow them. You would be doing yourself a disservice. But we are done.
Dare to Dream, and follow Dare to Dream, who is our other cast member who couldn't be here today. Follow
100%
Dare to Dream.
Dare to Dream. Oh, Adelaide. Fantasia, the former, and at the Fantasia farm. But that's us. Stay wonderful. Love yourself. Love each other. And we will see you all next time.